How's it going, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. Want to thank y'all for coming through. Before we move forward on this actual live stream and go through these comments, I wanted to settle something about Man of Spirit 4.0. Remember Man of Spirit 4.0, the guy before he had died, did a video about Man of Spirit 4.0. But there was another person who did a Man of Spirit 4.0 video about 3 years ago. And I wanted to actually show you exactly what I meant by Man of Spirit 4.0. Okay, so I want to play a couple videos before we go. Nope, nope. The cynical one, there was a video before that explaining Manosphere 4.0 to everybody in the Manosphere. This video is from me. So let's scroll in. I could put that up there as the actual thing for this too. But listen, this video was made on August 15th of 2020. August 15th of 2020. August 15th of 2020. This video will be 3 years old on the actual 15th of this month. But I want to tell you about my prediction that I had for the Manosphere at that point, because I knew that this was going to happen. So without further ado, let me play the video. So that way I can show you just how on point I was about this actual space, even 3 years ago.
Subscribe to my channel. Today, we discuss Manosphere 4.0. That's right. Yes, Manosphere 4.0. Guys have to realize Manosphere 4.0 was all the worst portions of the Manosphere from 1.0 to 3.0. And you have to realize 1.0, there was on some legit stuff. 2.0, most of them dudes was on some whole shit. 3.0, we tried to get it back. But then again, there was some Trojan horses in 3.0. So what we have here with Manosphere 4.0 is all the worst parts of Black American society and culture decided to come together. Now, they're not going to call themselves Manosphere 4.0, but, everybody wanted to hard charge back into the market on this relationship shit. And that's fine. The media, the audience can choose what they want to. But for the people who want to move forward, the game dudes, the unreformed criminals, the book authors, the dating coaches, the relationship industry hucksters and experts, all these people and the obvious snakes in the grass and the people who flag people channels and all this shit, they're all part of Manosphere 4.0 or 4.0 as I call it. Dude, they're not here for black progress. They're here to keep your eyes focused on an unchanged woman and pointing to her as the verification of their masculinity. That's what Manosphere 4.0 is about. They're not here for change. This is why all these people are here in an environment where men can change. They're here to sabotage, disrupt, and destroy any level of black progress that does not take this unchanged feminine specimen along with them. Because they know the actual women that can be worked with this environment is actually quite small. So there's a full court push for all these different versions of the manosphere to come together to focus on this actual human being is still the standard of masculinity. So that way they can all ride in, right along with her. This is what Manosphere 4.0 is about. It's not about black progress. It is about being accepted within the environment, even though you were part of destroying the environment before. Again, this is why the pimps are here too. The unreformed criminals are here too. The people who claim to be reformed, they're here too. They're all different versions of the same nigga that we need to be leaving behind in the first place. They're all the same people. Jailhouse scholars, dude, they're the same people. They want to be relevant, but they have no tangible results to bring to the table. This is why they're talking about women and relationships all the fucking time. Because that's the only thing that they ever accomplished was access. So I'm just letting you know up front, this is what Manosphere 4.0 is about. It's about combining the worst parts of the Manosphere and about letting everybody in here possible to drown out the voices of people who won't change. This is why you had the first iterations of 50-year-olds coming here. Now you got the other people in here who do the same thing. Everybody's on this game shit now. But the people who are practicing game ain't the people who's making it ahead in life and society right now. Of course, they got nigga trinkets, which really don't mean shit. But you have to realize all these people have come together. Have they are the Destructicons who have come together to form Negro Devastator. And they are not going to let you move along without bringing their relevance along with you. You have to understand, man, these things have not changed. They haven't. These same problems have been here in black society forever, and they have not reformed. They don't want to move forward unless you accept their past and accept any standard of measure. Because when you accept any standard of measure, you're going to be eventually corrupted by the same group of people who you should have let not be a part of the movement in the first place. So look, all of these people are on a full board, full court press, trying to make everybody have peace with them while they still keep the gains that they made in the environment for them. This is why I don't have to listen to unfeminine women. I don't have to listen to the shit. I don't have to listen to them. I can just look at the track record, look at the people who you're trying to put on the pedestal, look at the people who you're trying to get me to accept, and just say, oh, fuck all this shit. But that's what Manosphere 4.0 is about. Putting these would-be changed people back in their place so that way we can accept the unacceptable. That's what Manosphere 4.0 is about. They're not here to change anything. They're here to reset the conversation. All different variants, forms of this nigga is trying to reset the conversation. This is why these people never had a problem with dating coaches in the first place. Because they was going to point your head right back toward this fucking strag as the verification of your masculinity, which is their version of the verification of their masculinity. See, the more numbers there are, the more normal this shit bees and becomes. You have to know what the strategy is. The strategy is to drown out the voices of reason with the voices of bullshit. That's what happened before. Everybody wanted to be this boardroom pookie or jailhouse scholar or CEO of Death Camp. This is what these people want. And they want to be accepted right alongside of other people. 4.0, Manosphere 4.0, the Injustice Society. That's right. All the different supervillains have formed their own group. Only thing you have to do as the Justice League is just accept them. That's all it got. And you know where they stand. And it's very obvious. All roads point back to this goddamn unchanged woman and her current condition that they're trying to get you to socially accept. Because right now they're coming for the kids. They know it's the information age, and the information that we put out could really mean that nobody takes them seriously. So everybody's here on a full court press to socially engineer the new generation to accepting the old. And that's what this is about. This is not about progress. Manosphere 4.0 is about monetizing this space to the point to where that they sabotage and destroy all movements. This is why we should separate from them, because they're trying to fight for the relevance of their lives while we're trying to fight for a better life. These are not the same goals, and they haven't changed. And they're still going to try to make it look like if you would have had access to this woman at the time I did, you would feel the same way I do. Well, I wouldn't socialize to think that stuff is acceptable. Yes, and I was protected from this environment by people picking a woman for me. Yes, and she was held to a level and depth of consequences. So that way I wouldn't have to worry about being repeatedly stabbed in the back. Because, see, nobody wants a level of protection. They want all this freedom. So that way this chaos can just keep ensuing. All these people are part of the same puzzle. Manosphere 4.0, that's right. No official declaration, but we need to declare it for them. Because it can't be that everybody's on the same bullshit without no actual plan in place when it seems like there is one in place. So, thank you for listening. That's all I got. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm the man tomorrow. You guys have a really nice day. You get to make the individual choice of whether or not you want to move forward or not. They want to make it look like there isn't choice involved because they're the only choice. I'm telling you that there's more choices. Thanks so much for listening. You have a nice day.
All right. So before people be like, "Oh, that's a new video," all right, I'll show you how fucking old that video is. As you can see right there, August 16th, well, 16th, 2020. Wait, that's it? No, that's not it. What are you talking about? What's going on, the gone? Also, let me give a shout out to people who are here. We put up the next video. What's going on, Mont Perry, Pork Chop Proprietor with the boom thing? What's going on, Cynical One, XC, Deion Davis. Boy, I am going to try this. Bishamila Rabani. What's going on? I think I said that right. Hopefully. Yumika Kamu. What's going on? Hopefully I'm saying this right. Senku Ishigashi. What's going on? Sheeb's going on. Ike, what's going on? Rat, what's going on? Spawn Program, what's going on? Cedric Webb, Made the Alchemist, what's going on? Running on Sun, Bob, what's going on? James Doe, don't think I've seen here before. What's going on? Soft Sam, what's going on? Gone 11, what's going on? And sure. Hey man, thanks for the actual super chat troll shit. Thanks, man. All right, so let's keep going here. For the next video. Go to the next video. This video is August 15th of 2020. Take me as I am. We're going to go over this video next before we go into the other video. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what are your thoughts on becoming a broker for the transportation industry. I will answer that later on. Yeah. You know when the links stay dropped, they don't ever come up. This is the only way they could be able to talk to me. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. because this is the only way they can actually be able to challenge things in society. Like you can't even look at shit like a normal human being. I don't really care about that. It's on you. Hold on a second. I can't see the bottom of this page for some reason. Uh, uh, uh. Oh, I heightened the actual thing. Let me put it down to 100. Oh, okay, that was my fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. Okay, let's share this other video here before we get started. This is the video I made the day before. This was on August 15th, 2020. The male version of Take Me As I Am. For the people like Truth as I Know It, you do not know that I did make a video like this 3 years ago. So that way we can be able to listen to this video and keep going. At the end of the day, told you, stuff was coming.
Male version of Take Me As I Am. You have to realize, man, I've been watching these people for years. I know they never change. It's impossible for them to change. They've been too far down this road. They really haven't accomplished anything else in life but destroying the environment. So the male version of Take Me as I Am is Take Me Unreformed. And not only am I going to help you build, I'm going to remind you of all the things that I've destroyed in the past. I want to keep my street credibility. I want to brag about how easy it was to destroy these women, make kids, and destroy this environment. I'm going to do all of that and work alongside you. In fact, I want more chances. I want affirmative action for somebody in my position who's now learning how to do it right versus someone who has already done it right like you. Take me as I am. You need numbers, right? We're all the same, right? Take me as I am. But you're going to take me as I am, and I'm never going to change. But I want you to treat me with the utmost respect and act like we both have the same upbringing and background, then or now. Take me as I am. I'm going to want any leadership roles. I'm not going to try to be out here and be qualified about anything. And hey, I'm even going to drag this domestic reptile right through the door as I'm coming through. Take me as I am. You got room, don't you? Don't you want togetherness? Don't you want peace? All you got to do is take me as I am and accept me unreformed and unchanged and bring me right into your base camp. Take me as I am. And here's the other thing, I'm not going to treat you with any level of respect because you're always going to be beneath me, now and forever, until you get the verification of your masculinity through this domestic reptile. Yeah, I'm going to treat you just the same. But hey, we're both the same, right? Except you are beneath me, and you always will be. And hey, when it comes to hiring or focusing on other people, we could just focus on people like me, not people like you. Because what do you know? But we're the same, right? I know you want peace. I know you want order. But see, you have to accept the fact that I'm going to bring chaos to the table. Take me as I am. Treat me like I'm your brother. Brother, aren't we the same? Ooh, look at this melanin content. I think we are the same. And it's not going to matter what type of principles I bring to the table or how I'm going to act. It's the fact that we look the same. But I'm ahead of you no matter what happens. Because guess what? Woman told me so, right? So you have to realize the male version of the take me as I am is what these jailhouse scholars have been fighting for the entire time. Where do you think the Pookie and Ray Ray debate came from? Where do you think this nonsense about the warrior class of the black community came from? Who you think was the front runner of this nonsense in the first place? Yeah, it's not hard. He's been fighting for these people the entire time, giving informationals about Thinking Black Men and SYSBM. However, still trying to fight to make his children far more relevant than the children that's never been focused on. He was always the take me as I am leader. I'm going to be unchanged. I'm going to bring hella drama to the table. And I'm ahead of you. Doesn't matter if we're on the same team or not, working toward the same goal. Doesn't matter what your goal is. Because if your goal is leaving behind these people who did things in the past that were not functional toward the entire group, then we're not part of the same group anyway. This is what they say. They've always said this. They're coming back to damage the children. That's what they're here to do. And this is why everybody's running through the door at the same time. Game dudes, ex pimps, unreformed criminals. Because to them, working alongside and with and being quiet two pieces of garbage within the same environment is normal to them. Quite normal. But see, they know you better than you know yourself. They know that you want peace more than anything else in the world. They know that you want just an end to the fighting that's happening around you. The only thing you have to do is compromise by letting them right back through the door and putting them right beside you and treating them as if nothing happened. That's why it's mathematically impossible to move forward by bringing these people back within the camp. I say we just keep moving, form our own camp, and let them come to us as equals. As jailhouse scholar, hand in hand with the goddamn reptile, you let them do that. You have to come together as equals because they have a camp to which they're fighting for. And it's not for the men over here, it's for the woman over there. They've never been on our side, and there's no well justified reason to believe anything that they have to say. Because, hey, they're the one who destroyed it, they should build it. Because, see, they just want to be restored back to power, man. They have no intentions on moving it along without giving up that power of destruction of what they have destroyed. So you have to realize that nothing's really changed. It's just that some people are in more dire straits than others. Because information that you have is supposed to be weaponized so that way you could be able to benefit off of it. That means putting in things in actual actions and having results to which you can show to people. Everything within this environment is all about intentions. That's the difference. So, with you, the new guy to the table, have to learn it doesn't matter who's reformed or who isn't. It's about the actions that you take, it's about the people who you want to help first, it's about the people who you hang around and why. Because you have to realize that jailhouse scholars and 30-year-old new feminine women, feminine acting women, isn't what's going to make this thing operate properly. It's going to be people who do things properly, not people who intend to do things properly. This is why they can't bring principle to the table because principle has a level of respect beneath it. It's just they don't have any respect for you. Why would they act alongside of any type of principle? It's simply because they are not your people and they are incapable of building This is why they need your help. They don't want to hear anything about their past, but they sure as hell want to tell you about your past and how much ass you didn't get. You have to understand the single focal point is this domestic reptile. If you cut this particular entity out of your life and everybody who would brag on this particular entity out of your life, you're guaranteed to have a good outcome. Guaranteed. So long as you believe in incremental change and not going back and trying to nigga learn shit. Nigga learning is trying to do the past mistakes of other people better, only to prove that you're going to make far more worse mistakes than the people who are teaching you about the success of the mistakes, i.e., dating coaches, game hucksters, and body game experts, which didn't stop any of these people from getting sole custody or paying child support. So you have to realize the male version of the take me as I am is here, trying to act like he's far more decent of a human being than he actually is, when they should be thrown out the door straight on the welcome mat, and we will march without them. You already have your group. Don't try to become part of another. You belong where you fucking belong. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to thank you guys for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And the man tomorrow. You guys have a really nice day.
So as you can see, 3 years ago, next week, or maybe week after next, I've been talking about the same thing about how these people were going to destroy the space. About how all these people were going to galvanize around the worst individuals and try to take over this space. All these people were going to try to coordinate behind the scenes and prove that they cannot have progress go on within this space. I proved it 3 years ago. I'm not wrong about these people. I've been here for far too long not to know how these people operate. These people are creatures of habit, and they're not going to be able to move any other way. So we're going to go to this actual thing with BGS versus a guy who doesn't need BGS's help, but somehow found his way onto his channel. And this is a conversation you have got to listen to because I'm going to pause at certain points of this conversation and show you some historical narrative that could have cleared up this conversation. But when you're a master teacher, you got to keep the bullshit going. You got to mislead men. You got to. It's not the gynocracy, it's these dumbass dudes. So this is BGS's live stream. This is disagreements. This was done 3 days ago. And what we're going to do is we're just going to play it. Unfair use, unfair use, unfair use. So let's go for it.
See if I can find this. Okay, your device is not connecting, sir. So I don't know what's up with you.
I know the first couple minutes of this is boring, but I have to, because I don't want to take nobody out of context. And context is always important.
Employment went up, welfare dependency went up also.
In
Wait,
other
hold on a second.
words, as unemployment went down.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me go back. Because that was a pretty good point that he made once he came on. There we go. I think we're here.
Okay. Do you know what caused
Yeah.
Monahan scissors?
I'll probably say
Let me ask you this. Do you know what Monahan scissors actually is?
yes.
What is it?
I guess it's when I guess the more welfare increases, when employment increases, welfare increases too.
When unemployment increases, right, then the women depend on welfare, right? So they go to welfare, go to the state for money because the men don't have it, right? So in other
Yeah.
words, unemployment and welfare will go up together, up and down together, right, in sync, right? Supposedly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened with Monahan scissors?
I guess as employment went up, welfare dependency went up also.
In other words, as unemployment went down because they started giving men jobs, guess what didn't go down?
Welfare.
welfare. In fact, and guess what? Was it white women? Was it
But here's the thing here. Just because women was getting jobs and getting on, that doesn't mean that you could actually just sit around and just live off a fucking woman. But that's what most of these men actually did. The point was they decided to artificially hold themselves behind because the women was able to get to the fucking money and they could have got to the money too, but they just gave up on life. They just settled for sexual access. And they want to blame everybody else for some shit that they freely chose. What's going on, Quiz the Prince?
Latino? Was it Asian? It was only who?
Black people.
Black women, right?
Black women wasn't the only motherfuckers on welfare. Why the fuck would you say that? The numbers went up commiserately for everyone who was able to get and be a part of the program. You just can't blame black women for the shit. You just can't. So we're gonna catch them in this man out of the house rule, so that way we can put an end to that bullshit too.
Okay, they did it.
But BGS,
Ain't
but
no but.
BGS.
Why do you
No,
think they did? No. Ain't no
the
but.
reason why
Why do you think that is?
that's what I'm trying to explain. BGS, you once said that black people in America was based on survival. Like their culture is based on survival, right? Can you hear me, BGS?
I can hear you. What does that have to do with the question I asked you?
No, but you don't think.
No. What? In other words, don't deflect. Answer the question I asked you. If you don't know, say you don't know.
Okay, say it again. Say it again.
Okay. Now repeat the question I asked you because evidently you're not listening to me.
You said, why do you think so, right? That the Monahan scissors happened.
It happened, right? Why when Monahan, who worked for the Department of Labor, Secretary of the Department of Labor, started giving black men jobs and bringing down black male unemployment, why did welfare keep going up?
And I'm telling you, maybe it was a cultural thing.
Oh, it's a cultural thing.
Yes.
Okay. Expound.
Okay. In here, and I'm going to give you an example. In Canada, there are Somali parents that come from
Mm-hmm.
Somalia, and their
Mm-hmm.
mothers will be on welfare, and their dads will be working.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be collecting both welfare check and employment check.
Bingo. That's the thing. You were supposed to keep working as a man. You wasn't supposed to get mad as fuck that the woman was fucking working. You were supposed to still work together as a group. You still had the burden of the productivity piece. No matter what the woman is getting, you still, as a man, have to have the productivity piece. No one stopped you from not working. You decided to not work as a dude. That's what you decided. Okay? It wasn't a woman. It wasn't none of that shit. That's what y'all did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the strategy they use to make a lot of
Which
money.
which is illegal in the United States, is it not?
It's illegal
Especially
here too.
especially back then. Okay. So
So
in
you
other words, if everybody else followed this track, how come black people didn't? Do you know?
no. Can you give me a
Okay.
reason why?
Okay. In other words, in 1961, right, when Monahan Scissors first happened, right? Okay.
Yes.
Black women before that, black women were not allowed to have the same federal welfare that white women have. Guess what happened in 1961?
Yes. That changed.
It had that change,
You're
right? And ever since
yeah.
then, guess what happened? Welfare rates kept going up until Bill Clinton. No matter what the employment unemployment factor of black men was.
All right, let's just stop right here. Let's take a pause in this bullshit to actually show you where the man in the house rule actually was ruled down by the Supreme Court. Black and World O went over this actual information, but I'm going to go over it here. So that way, when you hear these unproductive, reprobate ass men keep talking about, a man not in the house. There was a Supreme Court decision. This Supreme Court decision in 1968 that ruled against the actual man in the house shit. So the actual idea, yeah, it still went up, but there was no man in the house provision. This was the actual Supreme Court decision that ruled the man out of the house shit just wasn't the actual thing. This Supreme Court decision right here. This is the Supreme Court decision. I urge you strongly to actually read the actual thing. So that way you can actually notice and understand what is actually going on here. You have to understand that statistics are roadmaps. Those people who are statistics, you can't help those people. It's a roadmap of showing you what's happening in the future if you don't change your actual method of how you act. You're not supposed to cite statistics and then feed yourself into bad statistics. That doesn't make any sense for a person to be able to do that. Again, you, you're going to see this guy misstate a whole bunch of stuff, but this is the Supreme Court decision King versus Smith. Wackaroto O brought this up already before. So let's keep going here. Bring this back up. Because these are people who want to help black boys, by the way. But they can't seem to talk to one on the panel like a human being.
Was it out of necessity they took welfare?
No.
So they didn't need a welfare?
If the man is working, she survives on the man's wages. Everybody else does. How come she didn't?
Bullshit. At the end of the day, if she's getting welfare, you can still supplement that with your own fucking wages. See, the problem is that these unproductive pieces of shit only want to get a job if they can make the woman dependent on them having a job and her not work at all. That's not how the system works. You were supposed to use both of those systems to boost yourself into a better condition. But what these dudes wanted to do is they wanted to have some minimum wage ass job and expect the fucking woman in the family to survive just off his fucking wages alone. That's not how that shit works, man. You have to adjust to the fucking system that's here. Other races of people did the same fucking thing. When actual, because like in Colorado, the only thing you have to do is be a non-English speaking woman, and you get moved to the front of the line beyond everybody in America and get a place to live. Guess what happens after she get a place to live? Husband moves back in. Husband still fucking working while they living in that $250,000 motherfucking house. She's working and actually receiving shit from the state. He's working, and the fucking family is fine. This dude works his ass off, which is the reason why he's never fucking there. That's the thing. They do want to do that. They want to be a masculinist, you know, be the actual analog of a goddamn feminist, sit online, not do anything productive, but just try to get people wrapped up in shit because you're a tenured professor teaching bullshit for the rest of your fucking life. So now you got to sit back and make sure men don't become fucking productive. So that way you can be comfortable with your position. It looks like these people are more dependent on broken men than the actual women are. These men, these broken men are the welfare system for bullshit ass niggas. That's what it is. That's why they have to keep pumping this fucking woman based bullshit out here. Because at the end of the day, they ain't got no place to lead these fucking men to.
So you're saying are those both men working and she was collecting welfare?
No, you couldn't collect welfare back then. Have you read anything about welfare and how it was actually situated back then?
Yes, I read some, yeah.
You read some. Okay.
But no,
So to get welfare, to get for a woman, white or black, to get welfare, what are the two things she had to be? Have
I
to
think
be
she either has to be I think she has to be widowed.
widowed, right?
Uh I think one of the father has to abandon.
Had to be abandoned,
I think
right?
either the
So
desert.
had
Yeah.
there was the exception, right? So one black woman walks in, wants welfare, she has to have one or two things. She has to have a death certificate of her husband, or she has to claim that he is what? Abandoned her. Okay,
Or
how they
That's not the case. She has to put a name down there. All right. And I just showed you the 1968 case where that shit was ruled down. So what happens is he uses this bad information and come after people with bad information because they don't read and they don't know shit about history. When the history is quite clear that what he's saying is actually false. But he keeps pretending like it's true.
how are they gonna double dip?
uh, I'm not sure.
They can't.
The reason why I say this is so you're saying the men were forced out the house.
No, they weren't
That's what you're.
basically they weren't forced. Basically, the woman left. She accepted welfare.
So where did the men go? Where did the men go?
Where do they go? They're working. They find their own house or their own
So
apartment
they
or their
found
own
their own.
arrangement.
So is this a mass exodus of people? Like I don't.
In
I'm
other
not
words, you
sure
don't.
what's going.
In other, you're not sure, but you're talking like you are, and that's what I want to prove.
No,
You don't. You don't.
no.
You don't.
The
You
reason why
don't. You don't know.
I say this is
Well, I don't. You know what I don't
because
like? No, hold on a second. What I don't like is people that don't know acting like they do. If you don't know,
You're the one who don't know acting like you do. So how are you blaming this guy for shit that you're actually doing? The only thing you're trying to do is stun on a dude with like bad information when you don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
no, say you don't
no,
know.
be just okay. I don't know, but the reason why I
Thank
say
you.
this is because
Hmm.
I've never heard any documentary about black women like being forced out the house. I've never seen any documentary, read any books
Okay.
about this.
Okay. What did I say? Black women were forced out of the house. Where
No,
did I
no,
say
you
that?
said black. Okay, black men leaving the house.
No, black women left them, left their men.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You're the one who said that the black women forced the dude out of the house. The government forced him out of the house. Now you're trying to reverse the conversation and trying to make it look like the women left the men in the house with the fucking kid. What the fuck are you talking about?
And sometimes they did it with the man's permission because his work wasn't always certain. Sometimes they did.
Thank for the $5 super sticker. Useless familiar.
Yeah, and I've read a lot about how black men will go to the north and pretty much not come back for work and not come back.
They were
I've
doing
read
that,
a lot of those stories.
but guess what? We're still married at a much higher rate. Okay, and the welfare rolls were much lower even back then. They've been doing that forever. They've been doing that since the 1890s. That's not new.
So you don't think that contributed to them being on dependency on
No,
welfare?
no. And why did it all of a sudden change when they gave black women welfare and you were actually married at a 90% rate? And your out of wedlock birth rate was about 20% or less than 20%. Why when things get better for you, man, why all of a sudden you taking more welfare?
But BGS, was it getting better though?
So what?
Was it getting better for the men?
In other words, your poverty rate went from like 45% down to 20. Okay, for black people, is that better or worse?
That's better.
If your unemployment rate goes from like 15% down to like 3 or 4% or 5%, is that better or worse?
That's better.
That's better. So what you tell me is, was it getting better? Answer your own question.
Yes. But BGS, Monahan
Well,
specifically said that there's
what
an
about
underclass of black people that's really messed up in the head.
it's really it's really messed up in the head? Where did he get that from,
Yeah,
sir?
he used the word disturbed. That's what he said. He said there's a disturbed class of black people.
Yeah, where did he get that from, sir?
I guess I haven't looked at his sources, but
Clark,
I
Clark,
guess maybe
Clark, yeah.
Clark.
Why don't
So he literally turned the question into making this dude answer for his points. BGS, you're supposed to be teaching this dude your points. He ain't supposed to be answering your side of the conversation. This dude went in the whole fucking duck season, rabbit season mode. kind of bullshit is this?
Why don't you go read Dark Ghetto and come back? Okay, that's where Tangular Pathology is from Clark.
Yeah, but BGS, I kind of,
Wait, wait,
can
wait,
you,
wait, wait, wait,
I
wait,
was,
wait a minute. Why is it always but? Why is it always but instead of a flowing conversation? Why is it always a but? But what?
okay, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, I
Everything I
apologize.
say, everything you say is always a but. But this, but
Okay, I
that, but this,
apologize.
but
I
that.
apologize. I
Okay.
apologize. Yeah, but I was just trying to understand because the tangle pathology, I think, is a lot deeper than how you explain it, like the out of wedlock birth, and I think it's a lot deeper. I think it's more has to do with the mentality and the psychology of Black people,
So
especially
where,
Black men.
so where did that come from?
Where did that come from?
Did you read the Money Report? What is it? What is it?
Yeah,
What does it open with? What does he say?
he said, I guess the history of slavery and Jim Crow, and I
Uh,
guess
oh boy, here we
yeah,
go. Here we go. Let me go.
yeah.
Let me find the documents. We pull it up. Jesus Christ. Is this a millennial thing that you have to argue to learn?
See what I'm saying here? You can't just give them the fucking information, right? You just can't give them the information, can you?
But BGS, you just had a
No, no.
you just had a section.
Can you answer my goddamn question instead of but?
Okay,
You say,
what did you ask me? What did you ask me?
do I have to talk slower?
Yes, yes.
I have to talk slower. Okay. Is it a millennial thing to learn by confrontation?
No, no, it's not. Because
Okay.
I have a lot of boomer parents that do the same. Oh man, it's crazy.
So you do the same thing to them.
Yeah, I guess we learn from each other.
So you learn by fighting.
Yeah, I guess that's a Black thing, man. In Africa and Ghana, it's the same thing. Just arguing over nonsense.
In other words, when I talk to Africans, they know I know something, they listen.
What kind
It's
of
not
shit is
always
Um,
that?
but.
all
Let's
right. I
let's
apologize.
let's pull this up. Okay. Let's pull this up since you have said that you have read this document. Okay. Okay. I said there are two reasons. First, the racist virus in the American bloodstream still afflicts us. Negroes will encounter serious personal prejudice for at least another generation. Second, centuries of sometimes unimaginable mistreatment have taken all their toll on the Negro people. So why are black people like they are?
I guess based on what you just read.
That's the key. Okay, that's the cultural thing. So with that, have you actually encountered what that actually was?
Yes.
Okay, what is
You
it?
know why
Explain it to me.
it's like one of the I would say one of the I guess one of the elements of the tango pathology is men. I guess men dealing with circumstances they should just be avoiding.
What? Tell you? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the tango.
Boom. He just gave him the answer. He just gave him the answer. He just gave him the answer like, look, you learned about circumstances that you should avoid. And BGS now is about to get mad as fuck that that dude dismissed his entire premise of dealing with bad women. He gave him the answer to his question already. And look how mad that this dude is about to get right now. Because remember, if you're not dealing with his demographic of fucking women, you're useless to him.
Tango pathology.
Gosh,
Isn't that what
Jesus.
you're talking about?
No.
What are you talking about? Because you said what I've encountered, right? And I thought
The tangular pathology is for a small number of people.
But it has spread it though, BGS. BGS hasn't spread it,
It has spread. Why has it spread?
and it's because I guess we didn't control it when it was small. We didn't try to minimize it because
Ah,
Monahan specifically said we need to deal with it before it starts to spread into the
into the
wider black
wireless
community.
system, right?
And Moynihan is right about that. Because why don't you look at rural America right now? They didn't handle the shit right in the 80s and 90s when it came to the crack epidemic. So now in the 2020s, when it comes to the actual pills and meth epidemic that's eating them up, since we didn't handle the shit right with the black people. I mean, they're not doing mass incarceration, but the people is just as fucked up off the pills that was legally uh, subscribed. Yep, opioids. CK Mystic, thank for the 499 super chat. BJ's views fail through any stress test. Gets butthurt when he's called out. No one should take him seriously. No. But you have a lot of dumbass motherfuckers in this space who just cannot separate from bullshit. That's why we're doing this, to show you that he don't give a fuck about the youth and he doesn't have answers to anything.
into the wider classes, right? Because we only talk about 10 to
Yeah,
15% of people, right? But thing is, where do you get it
yeah.
from?
Where did he get it from?
Yes.
You said Clark, so I'm gonna agree with you.
In other words, you don't know, do you?
No, no. I just know. I just trying to. I'm just trying to. How do I put it? Like
But
I was
but
just
you,
trying to explain to you what a tangle
well,
pathology was.
yeah, but you don't know. You don't even know where it comes from.
So, B,
In other, wo- in
so
other, in other,
BGS, what do you think the tangle pathology is? What do you think it is?
what I think it is, what I know it is.
Yeah.
What Clark said it
Okay.
was,
What?
it is because of the ghetto culture, because all those people moved to the north, okay, and cut off
So
from
when you say
jobs.
ghetto culture, what do you mean?
Are you
What do
gonna
you mean
talk?
about ghetto culture?
Are you gonna talk through
Okay.
me? Or you
Sorry.
gonna let me
Sorry.
finish? Okay.
I just wanted to clarify. Okay. You can go. You can go.
Unless you know. No, in other words, finish my sentence. Go ahead. Finish my sentence.
No, I just wanted to clarify ghetto culture. That's what I wanted to
Did you
clarify.
give me? Did you give me a chance to clarify?
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Huh?
Sorry. Sorry.
Did you?
I apologize. I apologize.
It's not
No, I
apology.
apologize.
Apology doesn't mean anything if you keep doing it, does it? So you might as well not
Okay. Okay.
apologize. You're gonna do it again, right?
Sorry. My bad.
In fact, it's frustrating. Okay. In other words, because ghetto culture is when they move to the north, right? They're cut off, and as I was going to say, they're cut off from jobs, they're cut off from education, they're cut off from moving outside of that area, right? So they're trapped. That's what caused ghetto culture: lack of education, lack of resources, lack of jobs, lack of money, and they're cut off, right? So they can't progress. That's what causes
Yeah.
ghetto culture, right? And so certain things like out of wedlock births, okay, violence, drugs, um, uh, 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 basically
Pimp,
women,
pimping.
pimping has been around forever. Okay, they're brothels in the Bible. Has nothing to do with ghetto culture. They're prostitutes in white areas, right? In non-ghetto areas, right?
So pimp culture is not part of the tango pathology.
Where do you get this stuff from, man? Are there
Where do I
are there
get it from?
yeah, are there white pimps?
Yes.
Yes. Are they in the ghetto?
No.
No. Are there madams? Remember the little whorehouses?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, okay.
No. The reason BGS, there's a specific pimp culture I'm talking about, like the Snoop Dogs,
So
the
so uh,
Iceberg Slim.
so are all millennials scatterbrained like this? Or can you guys focus?
So BGS, you're telling me there's no pimp culture?
There's
there
pimp
isn't a
culture,
distinctive pimp culture.
but it's not exclusive to what? Ghetto culture.
It's not exclusive to black, but there's a distinctive culture that's in
Is it
Black America. That's pimp culture.
pimps do it differently, okay? But there's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, okay? Italians ran girls, okay? Italians, Jewish, white folks, they ran brothels, and they had white uh, white pimps. They have Mexican pimps down in South America. Are they in the ghetto?
Are they in the ghetto? No,
No.
some of them
So
are
it's
not.
so it's not exclusive to black people or the ghetto. Okay, it's been around for a long time. I don't know why you honed in on pimp culture.
No, because I don't know because okay,
So so so
maybe
you
you're right.
basically you're spitballing. You're throwing spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. Okay.
But that's what you're
But
doing to
BGS,
him.
you just
I have
had
what?
a, you had a, you just had game culture. You had a game stream today, right?
What I had a game stream. What did it have to do with pimp culture?
Yeah, but that's all part of it. Macking, pimping, game.
And
It's all part of the. I guess.
what part of my presentation? Did you watch the presentation?
Yes,
Did I mention anything about pimps?
yes, you did.
Where?
You said that's how pimps control
I,
their.
what did I say specifically about pimps?
I think you were saying pimps need game. You said something.
No, I said pimps tune in to their female side, which is their anima, right?
Yes,
And that's how they communicate with their prostitutes and get them to actually control them, actually go out and make money for them, right?
yes,
And for you to do the same, not the same thing, but to communicate with women or your woman particularly, what do you have to tap into?
your animus.
Your anima, your anima, right? Your female side, your
Yes,
female, your female
yes.
side, right? That's in other words, when you hear me say something, how do you remix it to get that stuff out of it? You hear my stuff. I hear you when you listen to my stuff, but you remix it. Say, how do you get that? How do you mix what I said and get something completely different out of it?
Um, maybe I just I think I misquoted you then.
This is what this dude is thinking right now.
Hey, homie, you need some help?
That's what that dude is feeling like right now. Trying to suffer through all this shit. That's what this dude is feeling like right now. That dude don't know why he's up there even talking to this dude, man. He don't know.
You're not listening. Just like when I ask you a question, you don't hear me. So I have to repeat it because you're not listening. In other words, this is millennial feminist culture because you're thinking like a female. You're filtering everything through your feelings instead of listening to what I actually said and analyzing it.
What does this have to do with feminism, though? I'm not understanding. What does that have to do with feminism?
I'm glad you asked, okay? Because you're taught by it, and they're teaching you the model. The model student in the feminist culture is a white female, okay? And so she's going to
BGS,
teach you how. But BGS, can I finish my statement?
okay,
You asked me a
you
question,
can you
right?
can go. You can
Okay.
go. You can go.
Unless you're going to finish my statement for me.
You can go. You can go.
Stop acting like a 3-year-old, okay? All right.
You tell him to
In
stop
other
acting like a
in other
3-year-old.
words, you're taught by females, right? You taught if they teach you to think like females because that's where you're taught, you act like it. You filter everything through your feelings. Because you can't use your logic because that's toxic. You got to get in touch with your feeling side, let your emotions out. That's where they teach you. So you filter everything like a woman through your feelings instead of tuning into what I actually said. Out of all the
So
presentation stuff like that, the hour, the 45 minutes of presentation with all the points that I went down almost scientifically, you got pimp culture out of it. The thing you remember is pimps use their anima, and you didn't even get that right. Why is that?
Hold on a second. Did BGS just present his argument to this guy as if he said it when it's BGS who brought all this bullshit up to him? What is going on here? What the fuck, man? Damn, Panther God, shit, I ain't seen you here in a while. What's going on, man? Jeez.
I'm not sure.
But yet you're
I
gonna
was just trying
question,
to.
but you're gonna question me about it, like you know what you're talking about.
No, I was trying to get to a broader point.
What's the broader point, sir?
I was trying to say that this game culture, like you're literally becoming the example of the tango pathology.
Why is that, sir?
BGS, you told us that like we live in a gynocracy, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you're trying to give game to black men to deal with the gynocracy.
No.
You are trying to give game to these people to deal with women in the gynocracy. That's what your channel is about. You know that's what your channel is about. Why the fuck you think you share Rom Will's fucking videos if he ain't trying to get you to fucking deal with the women in the gynocracy? That's exactly what your platform is about. It is. Dude, this shit ain't even that hard.
So what was the purpose of game?
Game is so that you get better at dealing with women. Do you like women?
Yes, I
You
like
like
proper
dating?
women.
It doesn't matter whether they're proper or not. You like women.
Yes,
How do you communicate? Do you like to? Would you like to communicate with them better?
yes,
Would you like to be better, more successful with getting the women that you want?
with the woman. Yeah, with the woman. Yeah, singular.
Okay. So in other words, you hone in on one woman, you're gonna get married and stay with her for life.
Yes.
So in other words, so you're married.
No, I have a fiance.
You have a fiance.
No kids.
Okay.
No
Okay.
kids.
So how many women have you dated? Only she's been the only one since high school or grade school?
No,
Okay. No.
I've had. No,
So you
I've had
so
like
you
I've had.
go ahead.
Go.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no, go. You can go.
No, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had a couple of long-term relationships.
Okay. So how about the guys that don't have that?
About those guys,
Hmm.
but do they need game though? That's what I'm kind of confused. Do they need game?
Did you actually look at my presentation?
Yes.
What was wrong with it?
You're basically like trying to. It just seemed to me like you're trying to give black men, like I guess, a tool to deal with women you shouldn't be dealing with.
Which he's right. This guy just said BGS is given a tool to give men the ability to deal with women that they shouldn't be dealing with. That's exactly what the fuck is going on here. And even he sees us as a young ass dude. What's going on, Shatera? What's going on, Malak Vanguard? He just told him, like, you are literally giving people a tool to deal with women that you shouldn't deal with. That's your platform, remember? Mr. I want to help these young men run experiments. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And here's the thing BGS knows the actual outcome of what he's trying to do. What's going on, K Diggity?
That you shouldn't be dealing with.
Yes, because you said that I think one of you. I think maybe I'm misquoting, but I think one of you said you should start with fours or fives, and I'm like, come on, man! Like you're gonna deal with a 4 or 5?
Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure how long this guy has been here, but that was Game Changers argument versus BGS when they first met on my channel. Was BGS was trying to force Game Changer into actually dealing with fours and fives and shit. And Game Changer was like, no. And BGS is like, well, you have to deal with something part of this pool of people. And he was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. And BGS blew up and got mad because he didn't want to deal with low quality women. And BGS got mad as fuck about that.
Something happens, you get her pregnant, and now you're on child support with a
If if
5 or 4.
if you want to get good with women, okay, and you're gonna date, especially if you're young and you don't have any experience with them, okay.
You shouldn't though.
Okay, so you're gonna
You
shoot for
shouldn't
eight,
have
nine.
experience.
So you're gonna you shouldn't have the skill.
You shouldn't know. You shouldn't have the experience with these women. These women are fucked up. A lot of these women are fucked up. You should avoid them.
How are they fucked up? A Ford that's educated with a master's
Why would you want a Ford that's educated with a master's degree? Like, what the fuck? I thought we were supposed to be dodging educated women according to this fucking clown.
degree. She fucked up.
Is she fucked up? Based on
Yes.
the gynocracy, yes, she's fucked up.
In your opinion, a Ford with a master's degree and come from a good family, she fucked up.
Yeah, if we live in a gynocracy, she's fucked up.
Are you joking?
You see, the problem is when you reject bad options, and I don't, because we're talking about hypotheticals here. Now, never would I say that a woman need to fuck with a dude who's a four, who comes with a from a good family. I would I wouldn't limit a woman to that type of shit, right? Because choice is everything, and you shouldn't be worried about anybody else's choices within the environment. This shit is individual. It's individual. None of this shit matters.
Okay, BJ, do we live in a gynocracy? Yes or no?
We do. Why
He has to do with living in a gynocracy. Now watch the answer.
she fucked up?
If she's part of the gynocracy, she's automatically fucked up.
How is she fucked up?
If she's part of the gynocracy, she's automatically fucked up. So BGS is trying to ask him questions because BGS should be answering these questions, not asking the question.
She's a gynocrat.
And
She
she
was raised in the gynocracy.
and so were the men that were in that. Okay, 80% of the guys agree with that stuff because they're raised by it. Why is she
Yeah, and that's
fucked
what
up?
I'm trying to say.
No, no,
I'm
no,
trying to say
no,
avoid
no,
it,
no, no, no,
avoid
no,
it
no, no.
altogether
Why is she fucked up? Okay,
because
if
she
she,
was raised in the gynocracy.
so what does it? Why does it preclude that she's fucked up?
Because she's raised in the gynocracy, though.
That doesn't mean anything. No, it's a recursive question. Okay. In other words, say I don't know.
And then I guess I don't know.
You don't know. You're spitballing. Okay. In other words, the gynocracies point out why did it come up with the gynocracy? They actually point out exactly the mores and the patterns in the black communities, so they can understand it. They
Which is
actually deal with it, which is
which
what,
is
sir?
very avoidable, though. Which is
Oh, it's
very
not.
avoidable.
Oh, you don't. Oh,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
Now he keeps telling BGS that it is avoidable to not deal with the women that he's trying to market to this guy. The guy has said, I heard you, but at the end of the day, I don't have to deal with these options and choices that he's trying to market. This is not even about the women at this point. The women are not at the table. This is BGS who's trying to get this dude to surrender his choice to actually deal with the type of women that he wants him to deal with. So that way he can have full control over this dude at some point.
Okay, how so?
By just not dealing with these specific type of women.
Okay, what type of women are those, sir?
The ones that are in the gynocracy.
Okay, okay, the ones that are in gynocracy. So there's only a few of them.
Yeah, I guess it's a few based on how
No,
you guys speak. Is I guess it's a
no,
few.
no. It's your culture,
I think
sir.
20.
Okay,
The gynocracy is the culture.
it's so is Saudi Arabia a patriarchy?
Yes.
So that's the whole.
Okay, so now we're jumping over to another situation that has nothing to do with the conversation of him actually losing to. Because he's lost this fucking conversation. The guy is not of this fucking culture. He can obviously pick better fucking women, and he don't need BGS's help. You see, BGS don't fucking like that shit. Because he want to escort into bad options of women. Don't even focus or concentrate on women who have any type of fucking value. Because his actual predetermined clauses, no, none of these women here are of value. So pick whatever you want. You're gonna have bad consequences no matter what. But at the end of the day, that's on you. And it's very easy to see through this shit. Very easy. Here we go with the statistics that BGS just refused to actually listen to. Crazy talk. Because it is manipulation. It is manipulation. That's exactly what it is. Manipulation. When the only thing you can do is just have a straightforward conversation like a human being, but you can't do that. Shit. You can't.
Most of the society, so most of the guys are patriarchs, by definition.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in a gynocracy, the vast majority of women are what? Gynocrats, right? They're raised to be that. And guess
You
what?
say in America, America as a whole, or are you talking about Black America?
What do you think, man?
I'd probably say because America is not a gynocracy.
Here's the thing, man. You have to clarify your points to him because they're your points. He doesn't have to clarify his points, your points to you. You have to explain your side of the argument. It's not up to him to actually explain your side of the argument to him. You have to explain it to him. He can't explain your side of the argument to you. You have to make your claim. Now he has to make your claim to you for you. You have to speak for your side of the argument.
So what am I referring to then?
I think you're referring to Black America.
Black America. So is it America or
Yeah,
is it just Black America?
it's Black America.
So
I
why?
guess
So why did you answer what? So why did you ask me that question if you knew the answer?
no, because you said Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia is a nation.
Okay. So you don't get references. Okay. Why I asked that question. In other words, it's patriarchy, right? So in other words, it's the most of the people in the society are what? Patriarchs, right? The most of the men, right? And most women
Yes.
adhere to the patriarchy, right? So
Yes.
are they so all the men that are patriarchs bad
No.
or fucked up?
No.
Are
No.
there are all the men in their patriarch good?
No.
So if they're gynocrats, are they all fucked up?
Yes.
Why?
Because any woman who feels the need to rule is fucked up.
His needs to rule is fucked up. According to whom?
According to, I guess, the results.
Results of what? So in other words, that doesn't
Me
mean in other words, that doesn't mean she's fucked up. Okay.
uh,
You haven't thought about this very much, have you?
I have. I'm just trying to understand where. Okay, so B, just where are these gynocrats that are good? Like, can you steer us? Can you steer Black men
Yeah.
into these
Oh
gynocrats
yeah,
that are?
that are good. I mean,
Where are
they
they?
take
Where
care
are
of their
they?
kid.
Boom! Got him again. Got him. Got him. Show me the gynocrats that are good. And watch how BGS try to answer this question.
Where are they? They're all over the place. They're good women all over the place,
Just
right? Yeah,
is there specific, like
my
specific
men,
city?
they're in every city. Okay, if they take care of their kids, they take care of their family, they take care of the boys. Okay, they're good. There's plenty of women that do that. Not enough. Not enough. But there's also things there's something wrong with every group. Ghana has
Uh,
how many different forms of family formation in that small country?
Now, here's the thing. He doesn't know that this guy is from Ghana. Now, he's about to jump to another different society, and he doesn't even know this guy is from Ghana. This is the. But I wanted to play the pretext of the actual conversation because this is the crux of the conversation right here. He doesn't even know that this guy is from Ghana. So BGS is going to pretend like he knows Ghana better than a person who actually is from Ghana that he's talking about, that, that he's talking to right now.
I'll probably say one.
No, they got more than one. They got matriarchies. They got they polyamorous. They got what
Ghana,
polygyny. They
Ghana's
got
very
they polygyny. They
Ghana's
got
very patient.
polygamy. They got in other words, they got there's women that have more than one husband. There's men that have more than
No,
one.
no, BGS, no, BGS. Ghana is very, very patient.
He is from Ghana. BGS is trying to preach to a person from Ghana about Ghanaian shit going on in Ghana. A master teacher is about to teach this guy about a place that he's from. Keep this in mind.
Patriarchal, man. I'm telling you, BGS. They beat your wives, man. BGS. Like I came to America and they people were kind of like, I guess the Black Americans were kind of confused as to why, you know,
What is
like
what is a
why are
patriarchy? What is a patriarchy, man? Does Ghana have what they call matrilineal heritage, where where the
no,
kids belong to the they don't?
no.
So the cons are not matrilineal.
Here's the thing. BGS already looked up the actual term of matrilineal. He knows where this guy's from, but you have to understand that someone who is from Ghana don't give a fuck about matrilineal or matriarchal or none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, those are European words to actually describe things. His lived experience outranks BGS actual definitions of shit.
No,
They're not. So in other words, when it comes
no.
down to the kids go with the father's family.
Yes.
They do. Okay,
They're
that's not what I
they're very,
see.
very patient.
Bullshit. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you that BGS is reading from this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me bring it up what this dude is actually doing. Actually, I'll find it while we're listening to this bullshit because it's gonna be a couple minutes.
Very patriarchal, man. I'm telling you, BGS. It's not even like it's really strict, man. Like, you know, like they treat, like, I wouldn't say we're misogynist, but we're like one of those cultures where it's like, it's very deep, man. It's very deep.
In other words, Ghana has about 20 different ways of family formation. Okay, 20 different ones. Okay, just from me reading it. Okay, and then me asking questions, and I've seen it for myself. Okay,
BGS, are we talking about the Akan? Like, what are you? Which tribe are
the
you talking about? Because
the 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 Akans, the Akans are actually known as what, matrilineal. The wealth and stuff like that goes to the female line.
no, it goes to the sister's line, the
The,
father's sister line,
the
because they don't
sisters line,
trust the wife. They
the
don't
sister,
trust the wife.
the sisters line, right? Okay,
The
that's,
father's
that's
sister.
in other words, the sisters line. That's the female.
Yeah, but they don't trust the wife. That's what.
The wife comes from a different family, but thing is the sisters line, right?
Yeah. So the
Okay,
nephew inherits. The nephew inherits the. It's the nephew that inherits all the property, not the daughter. It's just the nephew. She doesn't get nothing. The nephew gets everything.
okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So Yeah,
But
so like,
but but it, but
but
this but this is a different family formation. There's a bunch of different family formations. The gynocracy is another one. The thing is, I
Nigga, we're not talking about no goddamn gynocracy. We're talking about Ghana, the country that he's from. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, let me show you what the fuck BGS is reading off of. BGS is reading from here. BGS is assuming that this guy is from one of these matriarchal tribes in Ghana. When you Google it, this is the first thing that comes up. That's why he started off with the Akans, and then he kept reading the fucking definition of the shit. This is what he's reading from. That's why he started with the Akans. This dude is not fucking stupid. I know what the fuck he's doing right now. He's trying to BS himself through an actual fucking live stream with somebody from Ghana. He's trying to tell him about his own country. That's why he brought up the Akans first. Because he wanted to tie the matriarchal shit that that's coming out of his mouth with the gynocratic shit that he does in the United States. What's going on? Freeman's Journal? What's going on, man? What's going on, Sexy Red? That's why the Akans came up first. Because he wanted to find some matriarchal tribe in Ghana that he thought he belonged to. Turns out he don't belong to any of those tribes.
you the ins and outs of gynocracy, right? I have 5 PhDs that agree with me.
no, BGS, I'm not disagreeing with the gynocracy. What I'm saying is that it's very avoidable.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Have time to go over and explain to you the ins and outs of gynocracy, right? I have 5 PhDs that agree with me.
He got 5 PhDs that agree with him. 5 PhDs. So, in other words,
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
say it, BGS.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Got 5 PhDs on my side. 5 PhDs that don't nobody need for a motherfucking thing. Who are these 5 PhDs? Okay, you got Green Gorilla, who haven't even proven that he's a PhD. You got Dr. Tia Son Johnson. Okay, you got Ron Neal. Okay, seen published shit from those two. Who are these other PhDs you got? Who are these other people? Come on, King Kong. You gotta come better than that.
No, BGS, I'm not disagreeing with the gynocracy. What I'm saying is that it's very avoidable,
How you avoid
right?
it?
You just said it again. Gave him the answer again. This shit is very avoidable. Very avoidable. Remember, he came from a patriarchal society, strong father, head of the household, and he doesn't understand who he's talking to. But when you're trying to bullshit your way through a conversation with somebody who's from an actual part of the country that you don't fucking understand, that's the problem. You don't understand the shit. Now, BGS even said, which was correct, that he came from a matrilineal society. But see, you have to understand the actual definition of a matrilineal society. These dumbass PhDs don't even know that BGS is using them as fucking cannon fodder.
Male line.
No, it goes to the sister's line, the
The,
father sister line,
the
because they
sister's
don't
line.
trust the wife.
The
They don't
sister.
trust the wife.
The sister's line. Right. Okay.
The
That's,
father
that's
sister.
in other.
So before y'all show you what matrilineal sounds like, or even looks like, you have to understand it. So let's look up a matrilineal society. All right, so I'm going to Google the Ashanti tribe, which is the tribe that he's going to say that he's from. So you need to know what the Ashanti tribe is, because he said exactly how the shit goes. Because what he said is true. Things from the father go to the stronger sister side. That's the way shit works in that society. But somehow BGS knows more about his society than he does, for some dumbass reason.
In other words, the sister's line. That's the female.
Yeah, but they don't trust the wife. That's what.
The wife comes from a different family, but thing is the sister's line, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the nephew inherits it's the nephew that inherits all the property. Not the daughter, it's just the nephew. She doesn't get nothing. The nephew gets everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
so yeah,
but
so like
but but it, but
but
this
it,
but this is a different family formation. There's a bunch of different family formations. The gynocracy is another one.
So let's stop right here, because this is also from Google. The first thing on the actual thing. Let's look up what an actual matrilineal society is, because he just explained it. The Ashanti society was a matrilineal, as most families were extended, and was headed by the male leader and assisted by the female elder of the same family. Just like he said. Remember, we're going to pause this again and then we're going to come back to this actual definition. So let's go back to this actual live stream of BGS trying to explain to him what the fuck a matrilineal society is. Even though it was explained to him by the actual guy.
Time to go over and explain to you the ins and outs of the gynocracy, right? I have 5 PhDs that agree with me.
no, because I'm not disagreeing with the gynocracy. What I'm saying is that it's very avoidable,
How you avoid it
right?
when
Because
when 95% of your culture is actually on that same shit? How you find ones that aren't?
there's, I guess, passport bros
You have to
dating
go out.
another culture.
You have to go outside the culture, right? But can you date inside? How you pick ones that are in the culture that are not like that?
Um, I guess it's a double-edged sword because
And but yet, I'm not pro-black. I don't understand this shit.
no, is this the reason why I say this is because you're saying that black men are fucked up, right?
Are they?
Or no?
Are
Because
they?
based on what I watch, it's like it seems like they're really fucked up in the head. Like they're always the Klingon culture, smack people in the head, not taking care of their kids. It
Not
seems like they're really
what not
they
taking care of the
seem really,
kids. What you talking about? Not taking care of the kids? What are you talking about, man?
but I mean like irresponsible. Like they're not educating their kids. You're you're saying that I guess black women in America are really
Yeah,
fucked up in
yeah,
the head.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So how do you fix it?
How do I fix it?
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a fucking second. How you gonna put this on this guy to fix this shit? Hold on a second. These are your arguments. You gotta be able to fix your own shit. You don't ask somebody younger than you to fix your own shit. This is shit you're trying to give the people. You have to provide an answer to your question. You're trying to put it off on him like it's his responsibility. This is something that you're arguing. You are arguing this. He's not arguing for this. You're arguing for this. How are you going to put it on this guy to fix this shit? What kind of shit is this?
I guess I remember you saying it's genetics now, so I don't know. I think it's. I really believe it's not.
What are you talking about? You all over the place, man. Y'all know what
No,
genetics? What are you doing? What does this have to do with? What does culture have to do with genetics?
no. I'm actually referring to what you said.
What did I say that?
You said it. Oh man, I wish I had the stream on. Because have. Oh
Have
man, where's that?
what
Where's
what
that
kind
stream?
what kind of degree do you have?
What kind of degree? I have a degree in
Uh-huh.
psychology.
It's in psychology. Have you heard the word called out of context?
Yes,
Context matters, right?
yes,
So he pulls something out of context, like he did with the pimp shit, right? Does context make a difference?
yes,
You have to say what I said within context. So
yes.
I just say I say words that trigger you, and you remember the word that I said, or what? How does it work with you?
No, because that specific. I don't know. For some reason, when you said that, just kind of just wow, like wow, this guy really said that. Like that's crazy. Like once you say genetics, like that's crazy.
Okay, and under what context did I say genetics? And you probably talking about
Oh, cause
you probably talked about nameless. Talk about epigenetics.
no, cause I think it was one of your I think one of your commenters I think one of the people in the chat, he said something about at this he said something about I forgot what he said, and then you kind of responded and said yeah, but
Okay, let me if
you
I
said it in
oh
a reluctant
let
way.
me ask you if I explained something that you said like a week or two ago, and I couldn't quote it and I couldn't remember it accurately, what would you say? Trying to answer it, trying to answer that. What would you say about that?
I'll probably say you're wrong, or you
Or
misconstrued.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's okay for you to do that to me.
No, because okay, since oh man, I wish I could just pull this up, man. Like, oh man,
Pull what up, man? If it's on my stream, I have access to it. What stream was it?
I think it was. Oh man, I forgot, man.
Okay. Do you smoke, man?
No,
You sure?
yes,
Okay, because you this is not being erratic to you, like you're all over the place. Or you normally like this?
no, it's kind of late, so I'm kind of. So BGS, you never said this though. Like, you never said that at this point it could be genetics. You haven't said that.
That it could be genetics. I said it could be built into the culture. Now, Nameless said it could be epigenetics. That's what he said. Now, he's the one that talked about genetics and epigenetics. Okay, it wasn't me.
All right. Because I heard you clear. Like that for sure I heard because my eyes blinked. Like wow, like this is a pro black saying this. Like this is crazy.
What? Okay.
But
Because trust and believe. Everybody, you don't even want to read the. You don't even want to read the chat. Okay,
now is this? I don't know.
because you are not making any kind of sense. That's why I pulled you away from Arch panel because you're not making any sense.
What? Okay, name me something I haven't made sense. Like name me something.
In
Name me
other
something
words,
specific.
what you just said about genetics and it was something was crazy, but I said it on a stream that you can't remember and you can't remember exactly what I said, but you sparked you and you said it was crazy. Does that make sense to you?
Does that make sense to me?
Yeah, would that make sense
No,
to you
because
if I said it? Okay, so how's it gonna make sense to me?
I just thought you would remember that point where you said it.
If I said something, if okay, say if you did a 2-hour stream, right,
Yeah.
and did multiple 2-hour streams, okay, and somebody wants you to pinpoint a singular phrase that you said in one of those multiple 2-hour streams, could you remember it?
No.
Okay, but you expect me to,
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
and I
But
have no. I mean, and you said there was a broader point that I don't understand.
no, I was trying to say that, oh, you should just, since it's genetics right now, just avoid it altogether. Because you don't need to be dealing with these females that are kind of like
I,
messed
I
up. There's like,
I said I said it's probably weaved into the culture, and it takes a long time to unweave that stuff out of your culture. Culture is only second to genetics. Okay,
This is a very good point that he just said. I want you to hear what he's saying.
no, I was trying to say that, oh, you should just, since it's genetics right now, just avoid it altogether. Because you don't need to be dealing with these females that are kind of like
I
messed
I
up. There's like,
I said I said it's probably weaved into the culture, and it takes a long time to unweave that stuff out of your culture. Culture is only second to genetics. Okay, it takes a long
oh
time
man.
to weave what's been taught over and over and over again, reinforced inside a culture, out of it, and sometimes it never comes out. You're Ghanaian. Okay, there's stuff that's inside your.
He understands that what he's saying that is culturally ingrained is impossible to get rid of, but he's still trying to send people through this process anyway, which is what the problem is in the first place.
Culture has probably been there for 1,500 years. They probably would never come out. Ways of doing things.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
So, in other words, if it's weaved into the culture, that means you probably can't. You probably you trying to adjust yourself to it. You're trying to talk to it. You probably cannot get that out of her. It's embedded into her, embedded into the culture, the ways of doing things. Okay, even into the men. So I call it the winter soldier chip. It's because you've been programmed in such a way that you can't turn it off.
No, I don't disagree with you because I've seen this with a lot of the Jamaicans, like even Africans that are raised in the West, like they have the same, like we have the same pathology, like dealing with just some of the most fucked up women, like talking about game, how much pussy we're getting, like this really stupid shit. Nah,
Okay.
I even
hmm
met a, I have a couple friends that like they don't even like working, like they think working is somehow like I guess not manly. Like it's really weird. It's like this that
Okay.
strange,
Okay. Okay.
very strange culture.
Okay. You're gonna have to kind of make some kind of sense because you're blending things. Okay. You're blending things.
No, what I'm saying is like I've seen this pathology. I've seen this culture in other I've been around a lot of like I said, I've been around a lot of Jamaicans, and
Okay.
they have the same problem.
What's the
Like men
problem?
are
What
just
the problem is? Okay. What's the
uh,
problem?
like this sexual irresponsibility. Like it's like
Okay.
this I guess this macking culture is very prominent with them.
Okay.
Uh,
So what about Nigerians that do the same thing over in Nigeria?
Same thing, same thing.
So, but the, but
Ghanaian,
the,
same
but
thing.
but that pathology didn't come from America, did it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It's not necessarily American. Okay. The macking culture, so called.
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think it's a black male problem. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's a black male problem.
Okay.
He just said it again. It's a black male problem. It's a black male problem. Yeah, what's going on, man? What the? What? That look, that look like Angry Man. Is that? Is that? What's going on? Actually, I've seen your channel, an actual live stream of Angry Man so called roasting me. I did watch that video from you, by the way. I did watch that video from your channel.
So how did how do Nigerians and other folks counteract that? Because the out of wedlock birth rate in Nigeria is not that high. How do they counteract that?
How they counteract?
Who's responsible for births in Ghana? Okay, is the man's problem or the woman's?
Okay, so here's the thing. BGS is asking a question about a country he does not live in. Watch how he responds to this actual question.
Problem?
It's the man's problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So in other words, the man is responsible for turning down sex with a woman or getting a woman pregnant. He's responsible. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He
Okay.
is. Like they
So
were like,
so they said nothing to the women.
no, they'll beat the woman, but
No,
the
no.
man is gonna be like,
So the women, so the mothers say nothing to the women about keeping the legs closed.
yeah, they do, but they're really hard on the men because they're saying like, man, you're the gatekeeper of the family. Like you should have married this one before you had sex with her. Like they're really hard on that. Like especially before. Now it's like it's westernized, stupidity. But like 10 years
So
ago,
so they teach all the women that the men are responsible for getting you pregnant.
do they teach that?
Yeah.
No, it's implied. It's implied.
It's how so? How's it implied?
Hey, ooh, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
How is it implied? They just say, okay, uh, so they don't tell the girls to keep your legs closed till you're married.
Yeah, they say keep your legs closed and find a productive man
To
to
find a
marry.
productive man to marry, right?
Yeah, none of that.
So they encourage women to have babies willy nilly.
No, no,
So basically, so if a girl has a baby out of wedlock, the women are actually okay with it.
no, no,
Why not?
because it's illegitimacy.
It's legitimacy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they don't. They like I said, they don't.
Ghanaian women have told me that the responsibility for childbirth is on the woman.
That's not true. If you're in a responsible society, it is up to you as a man to not get with certain types of women. That is up to you as a man. Yes, dick can quook quook turn on, dick can quook quook turn off. These people keep acting like they don't have no control over anything. This stuff's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You as a man have definite control over everything else that's happening here. You have control over that.
It's no, no. That's not true. That's not true.
In other words, if a girl is around an unproductive male, basically the women will actually get on her ass.
Mm.
If a woman starts dating a guy that's not sanctioned by the family, they get on her ass, won't they?
Yeah, not sanctioned by the father. Yeah, they will get.
Here's the thing. You have to understand, in a culture society, women roll tough like a motherfucker. Like, I don't think people even understand how actual women roll in culture societies. The women are going to make sure a woman's not going to make a fucked up decision that's going to make all women look bad. My mother was raised in a society like that. My grandmother was raised in a society like that. In the South. In the South. May, thanks for the 49.99 super chat. Respect to MOT for close examination. Yes, because you have to go over these things. Because see, they don't like actually inviting people on who can actually refute their points in a heartbeat. I'd rather go over the actual stream and do analysis. I love analysis. Thanks so much for the super chat. But let's keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's what I'm
another
saying. Like,
so to have access to that female, right? He has to go through the family first, right?
yeah,
Okay. This is something that BGS is against. Remember, he's teaching game to dudes to bypass He's trying to feed dudes into fatherless women on purpose, with the express purpose of trying to get these dudes fucked up. In this society where he's at in Ghana, the men control access to sexual faculties. You see, he can't stand a society like that because in a society that has very stringent control over sexual access, a guy like BGS would never be able to get laid in a society like that. When men control access to their daughters, it's a better off and overall thing for everyone involved in the society. The less men actually are involved with the actual women there, the more they get access to fuck boys just like him. And then we have the outcomes and consequences that we are actually dealing with right now. So he's dealing with a guy that wasn't raised under American society. But he's trying to talk to him and trying to talk down to him as if he needs to respect his level of immaturity when this guy is actually more mature than the actual 60-year-old that's on the actual panel talking to him.
Yeah,
And the first and everybody that I talk to, if you want to get married, you got to talk to Mama San because Mama San sets the bride price. Everybody I talk to,
That's not how it works. They just told you that the man controls access to his daughter. Why the fuck would you try to make it some mama san shit like it's fucking Latino culture? That's not how that works. And even in Latino culture, if mama don't fucking like you, you ain't got no power anyway. Doesn't matter about what you want to marry. And even if you do, you gotta fucking leave the fucking state to get married. At the end of the day, he explained to you exactly how his culture works. Men control access to sex with the actual daughters. And the highest ranking female on the father's side is going to ensure that that son who's going to inherit the resources are going to be able to operate functionally. But see, BGS doesn't understand that type of shit though.
that got
no,
married in
yeah.
Ghana. Everybody I talked to that got married in Ghana had to talk to Mama.
I don't know which tribe was this though. Like
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
What
because
what tribe?
in the
What tribe?
economy
What
in,
tribe are you from?
in the ec- I'm from the Ashanti.
Ashanti. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. Look at the definition of the Ashanti tribe. Yes, that Ashanti. Yes, that Ashanti. That fine self-marrying motherfucker. That Ashanti. Okay. The Ashanti society is matrilineal, headed by a what? Male elder, who is assisted by a female elder on the father's side. Watch how BGS tried to explain this. Watch how BGS tried to explain this guy's own culture to him. Watch how he tried to explain his own culture to him. So, you see what the Ashanti tribe is. So let's now go back to BGS's explanation of his own tribe to him.
they don't play, man. Like they do not play. Like
Let's
it's
let's
very
let's
patriarchal.
let's pull up Google about the Akan because they see the Akan are the biggest matriarchy on the planet.
Hold on a second. I'm about to do what BGS is doing right now. I'm about to show you what BGS is doing right now. He just explained to him what tribe that he was from. Look at where he jumps to. The only thing I typed into Google was matriarchy in Ghana. This is what BGS is coming up to. The Akan people in Ghana have a matriarchal society in which the inheritance and succession are traced through the female line. Women hold a higher status in Akan culture and are often the ones who make important decisions regarding family and community affairs. Now, this guy is not from the Akan culture. He told him that he was from the. This is the culture he said he was from. He was from the Ashanti culture, where the male elder and the female assisted by the elder on the male side. Now, watch BGS try to tell him about his own culture. Yes. Again, I bring up the things. I don't have to troll and do all that other shit. I could just play the goddamn thing back.
Like the I guess the because they're not they're not patriarchal,
Yeah.
man. Like I mean, they're not matriarchal at all, man. Those females don't run like they're
Okay.
damn, it's bad.
So I guess Google and all these books are wrong.
Yes.
They are. Okay.
BJ's, you're talking to an Ashanti. I've seen this. Like we beat our wives. Like we beat them. Like it's really bad. And they can't say nothing. Like somebody like I remember my aunt, like she had to stick out her marriage, like, because she couldn't really do like she can't leave her husband.
Female leadership among the yeah. Oh, female leadership among the Ashantis. You say Ashantis. Interesting. Akan Queendom. Interesting. Interesting.
The guy clearly said he was Ashanti, but I need to show you where he's reading this shit off at, word for word. So that way you can understand how this guy is doing this shit. Now, BGS keep bringing up the Akan. The guy said that he was not Akan. He's not Akan. He is Ashanti, but he's still reading from Akan in Google. This is the first thing that comes up for Google. Matriarchy in Ghana. That's what I searched for. This is exactly what BGS is reading off of. He's gaslighting this dude to his face that he don't know what fucking culture he came from when he lives in Ghana. This is what BGS is reading off of. So now he probably has both of these things up at the same time. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't have the Ashanti tribe up. He doesn't have it up on purpose. Like he searched for the matriarchy in Ghana, he could have searched for the Ashanti in Ghana and it would have gave him the exact definition that is on the screen. Even though he had to explain it. Hold on a second. This shit is freezing like a motherfucker. For what reason? I'll sit here. Hold on a second. It froze for a second. I'm not sure why. Hold on a second. Let me get back to where I was. StreamYard must be a con. Yeah, I did get a call. I'm not sure why it knocked me off the fucking internet on my fucking computer. Disagreements. Boom, boom.
You probably you trying to adjust yourself to it. You're trying to talk to her. You probably cannot get that out of her. It's embedded into her,
Wait, hold
embedded
on a
into the
second.
culture,
We
the ways of doing things. Okay, even
wait, hold on a
to
second.
even into the men
We passed this. Hold on a second. I think we're here.
that do the same thing over in Nigeria.
Same thing, same thing.
So, but the,
Ghanaian, same
but
thing.
but that pathology didn't come from America, did it?
No, it didn't.
Okay, it's not necessarily American. Okay, the Macking culture, so called.
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Oh,
I think it's
shoot.
more. It's a black male.
Hold on, problem. Shoot here.
Show me something
Nah,
different. Show me something different. Pull
BGS.
it up.
I'm an Ashanti. I'm an Ashanti. I can tell you.
Okay. Now I don't believe you. Pull it up.
BG, okay, BGS. When you went to Ghana, like
I don't believe you. Pull it up.
He has to pull up.
I
He's
don't know
from
what to
Ghana.
say. Like my whole family is an Ashanti. Like
Okay.
we're very patriarchal.
So
Like I said, I don't.
by all means, bring them on. Have them verify it.
I don't know what to. I really don't know what to say.
In other words, you can't, can you? So how do I know
It-
you're telling the truth?
how do I guess you want to know, but I'm telling
No,
you that we're
no, no,
very
no, 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 no,
patriarchal.
no. How do I know you're telling the truth against what I just pulled up?
Yeah, but I can pull up stuff that says
What you
America is a patriarchy.
no, but basically, how do I know that you're telling the truth? Pull it up.
I wouldn't be able to verify that because I don't
In other,
have. I just based on experience. Like
in other words,
I live in
so I have to
I live
tell
in
you,
Ashanti.
I have to take your word for it, right?
Yes.
So how can I verify that you're actually telling me the truth?
Okay, let's do BGS a favor and let's show you how the guy's telling him the truth. That's how you know he's telling the truth. The same Google machine that you looked up matriarchy in fucking Ghana, the Ashanti is a society was matrilineal where the actual headed by the male elder, assisted by the female elder. BGS used the same exact, and I mean the same exact Google to Google this. This is what BGS Googled for matriarchy in Ghana. This is exactly what I pulled up. This is why he's reading off of this and only going off of this because it's the first thing that came up in Google. That's why he's assuming everyone is matriarchal because this is what he Googled. He could have easily Googled Ashanti in actual Ghana and would have got the other definition, but he didn't want to do that. He can't admit that he's wrong, even though he's dead to the fucking wrong there.
Ghana yourself and
I've
see
been
it,
to Ghana.
and you see the matriarchy. You see
Yes,
matriarchy.
yes, because I have several guys had to marry and take bride prices, marry a kind of women. Okay, and they always told me they had to ask mama about the bride price.
Mom, nah, BGS. BGS, no man.
So in
Like
other words,
I'm telling you,
so in other words, okay, what I've heard from guys that had to marry these people, I've heard from people in Ghana. I just pulled it up. Okay, Prove something different.
Okay, I'll prove it different
Show
than
me
you.
something.
BGS.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no,
Okay, I
no, no,
can't
no.
show you.
BGS,
Or
I can't.
BGS. I'll help you out. I'll do it again. Your understanding. No, no, no. Let me pull up his understanding. His understanding is his actual lived experience. The Ashanti tribe. This is his lived experience. Want to know why? He's from Ghana. This is his tribe that he's from. He explained this shit to you I don't know how many times. And what you did, BGS? You went to you went to Google, and this is what you Google. Because I can tell you. Because I Googled the same stupid shit because I know how you fucking think. This is what you Google. You Googled this, and this is what came up. And this is the definition that you have to stick to. Why? Because you don't know shit about Ghana. And you're trying to stun on the dude who actually is living in Ghana. I Googled what you think that you know. I've done it live. There ain't no reason to look this stupid. And you're arguing with somebody from Ghana about his culture. I can't. I can't with this shit, man. But let's see what this dumb nigga got to still say.
When I say that the Black American people are matriarchy, I can actually go to you and actually pull the sources. Okay, I pull the sources.
BGS, you don't find it kind of scary, like you're saying
No, 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 no,
matriarchy like that?
no, no,
Like,
no, 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 no. That had nothing to do with that, man. Don't
oh,
stop,
bro,
stop, stop being a woman for a second, right? I said I can
that's
pull.
scary.
No, no. Well, yeah, it's scary because you're acting like a woman right now.
But
That's
BGS, what's more woman
no,
than
no, 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 no.
what's
That's
more woman?
I don't
What's
deal with
more
them.
woman than ruled by women?
I don't deal with emotions. I deal with facts. Pull me facts. You're dealing with. We're talking about
Okay,
emotion right now. I want facts.
I guess I can't prove it. All I'm saying is that I have seen it in my experience. Like we beat our wives. Like our wives cannot leave us.
Well, basically, your wives can leave you. She leaves with nothing, but she can leave you. Okay, she can.
Yeah,
She's encouraged not to. Okay, and that's what matriarchies do.
that's when matriarchies.
Matriarchies do the same thing. Go back to your husband.
In Ghana, the female can't own no property. The property goes out to the husband. She
Really?
can't take the kids. No, she
Oh,
cannot take the kids
cannot take the kids. But what is masculine? Basically, the kids belong to what? Not the woman, but to the what?
to the man,
No,
to the
to the
father. No,
family.
no, she belongs to the father. The kids belong to the father.
Okay. Okay. So in other words, in other words, if I'm on a con and they're matrilineal and we break up, uh, whose family do the kids go with?
He's not a con. He is not a con, sir. He said, I don't know how many times that he's Ashanti. He is not a con. The reason why you're bringing up a con is this is the reason why you keep bringing up a con and keep trying to force it into the conversation. Let me show you. This is what comes up when you actually Google matriarchy in Ghana. How many fucking times have this guy said that he is not a con? He said he is Ashanti, not a con. Say it again, Freeman's Journal. Say it again. You're right. This is why he have to keep boomeranging back to a con. Because a con is matriarchal, which he said he wasn't a part of. I don't know how many times have he said it at this point. He said he was not part of this actual system. Not Shaka Khan. But that's what happens when you have to present narratives that you can't even verify.
Father.
Okay.
The father can just literally take the kid and leave.
Okay.
Now it's changing because they want to westernize, but that's traditionally that's how it was. Like I'm telling you, BJ, it's a very patriarchal thing. Like
Okay. Okay.
sometimes
Oh,
it,
okay.
sometimes it even scares you.
Okay. Well, let's use that as patriarchy, right? Can who do kids go with in the black community?
It goes to the woman or whoever, I guess, whoever the state puts in charge of the kid for the kid as the parent of the kid.
Who the vast majority of children go to where, especially in the black community? To
It
the
goes to
women,
the
right?
woman.
Go to the women, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Most of the houses are owned by what? Property is owned by whom?
Probably, I'll say maybe the woman.
Women. It always has been, right? Who's most educated?
I guess is the woman.
Who gets more government assistance?
I guess is the woman.
Who has the uh, who holds the most offices in the black community as far as political offices?
I'm not okay. I'm not sure, but when I seen the overall stats with just the general America, it was 70% male, 30% female. But I don't
It's
know
over.
specifically.
In the black
I
community,
don't know specifically.
4 out of 5 office holders are women in the black community.
Wow, that's. I have to check on that. That's scary.
In other words, you don't know, but you're telling me about a gynocracy that you haven't even researched. Why do
But
why
be
do you
look,
why do you think Monahan called it a matriarchy? Same that Clark did. Same thing that the Kerner Commission did. Same thing that Frazier did 30 years earlier.
but Mahab specific.
So you said Moynihan called the black community a fucking gynocracy. I'm sorry, a matriarchy? Are you fucking kidding me? The Moynihan report didn't bring up no fucking matriarchy or none of that shit. They're just like, look, can't produce, family won't be shit. That's what the fucking shit is. A Freeman's Journal. What he's trying to do is he's trying to actually mirror his talking points of Ashanti with Akan, which they are very different groups of people. Even though has been experienced to him, he Googled what Ashanti actually means and how this dude actually looked at it. Like BGS actually Googled Ashanti. Once he read what Ashanti meant, which is exactly what he said, strong male figure. After the male figure dies, it goes to the strongest female in the family. I didn't know that my family was set up like that until my dad died. My aunts had way more power and control over how we was raised than my mom did. I did not know that shit until she died. She knew that shit the entire time, but I didn't know that until after my dad had died. My fucking aunts had my aunts could have summoned me to any number of fucking cities outside of fucking control, and there wasn't shit she could do about it. Why? That's how the family was set up. Strong grandfather figure, strong father figure. This your leader, Killmonger. Oh man, but this is where we at though.
Specifically said that I guess the black male being compromised has led black women to be the head of the household. That's what he specifically said. He said because of black man's situation, it has forced the black woman to be a matriarchy.
Oh, okay, so no matter how they got there, guess what, sir? It's a what?
Yeah, it does matter though. It does matter.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? So it's a patriarchy if they're not forced. It's voluntary. Is it a patriarchy?
Is it a patriarchy if it's
Not
forced?
not forced. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not understanding what you're
In other,
saying.
why does it matter how they got there? Okay.
Because Monahan specifically said that this is the reason why the black community is messed up.
Okay. Why do you say it was messed up? Not because of the matriarchy. Why does it say it was messed up?
What you just read about how
Of his
the
mistreatment, right? Okay.
slavery mistreatment. Yes.
Mistreatment. But the thing is, but is it a matriarchy?
Is it a matriarchy?
Yes.
Yes. The
Okay.
reason why the reason can I
Stop,
say
stop,
something now?
stop, stop, stop.
Yes,
Is it
okay.
a matriarchy?
Okay, go.
Is it a
Yes.
matriarchy? Yes. Okay.
Is it a matriarchy? Yes.
Yes. Full point blank period. It is what it is, right? Now you can go by why it got there. I know why it got there, but things go ahead. What's your opinion?
Oh, how it got there?
Mm-hmm.
I guess what you basically what you just said, what you just read, the mistreatment.
How
I
what's
guess
how did it get started? Do you know?
maybe it's the conditions under slavery.
In other words, in other words, guess what? European so-called slavery was called what? Even on a continent, it's called indentured servitude. Is it forever?
No.
It's a certain period of like 7 to 10 years, right? Indentured servitude, right? It's not lifetime, right?
Yes. Yes.
And the kid does not inherit the status of the parent, does it? Just because the father's
No.
a slave doesn't mean you're a slave, right?
Yes.
Okay. What? Why is that the case in America?
Why is there a case in America?
Why is
Because
that the case in the Americas?
I guess to perpetuate. I don't know. Maybe to keep
What
it
ch-
going on forever.
what changed? What legal thing changed in America, in the Americas that made black people perpetual slaves?
I forgot that. Forgot that law though. It was the. Oh man, I forgot it. I have to. I forgot it. BGS.
In other words, I forget it was called status of the womb, right? 1750 Virginia. Status of the womb determines the status of the child. So in other words, if the
Yes.
mother's a slave, the child is a slave.
I gotta look this up. Okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna stop the conversation. Let's look up this status of the womb shit. I don't know whether this status of the womb from the 1700s have to do with this conversation. That's what I'm saying. It is 20 fucking 23, so I don't know where the status of the womb shit come from. So let's see what this shit's on. Oh, that looked like that's England. Yeah, yeah, that's England. Let's see what English has to say about it. Come on, bruh. We're not going back to the 1900s to fucking look up some shit. But come on, man. It's not. There is truth to that, but it has nothing to do with him losing this argument, though. He's getting beer battered on this motherfucking shit here, and that shit's crazy. So let's just let him just go through losing.
Guess who's over the family?
I had a slave master.
The slave master, and secondarily who?
I guess. I guess
The,
the
the
mother.
mother. The mother, because she could have 10 kids by what, 6 or 7 different guys, right?
Yes.
And that pattern was set up under slavery, right?
Yes.
It didn't change through Jim Crow, did it?
No.
Because it's very
What?
normal still today, right?
What?
Yes.
What?
See where I'm getting at? This pattern was set
Yes.
up a long time ago. Thing is, if you don't understand how this stuff got started or why it exists, can you change it?
What?
Can you change it? No.
What?
That's why I speak out about it. Because some of the people that do know are not saying shit. They know, but they do it behind closed doors. Does that change anything? Like trying to do it behind closed doors.
Yeah, I guess based on what you're saying, no.
In other words, if we have a drug epidemic, do we actually tell people about it, even though it shames the whole community, or they keep trying to do it behind closed doors without telling anybody about it?
You will have to you will have to tell, I guess.
You have to make it public, right? To get help, right?
Yes.
That's why I do it. That's why I publicly come out and talking about why black boys do better. Even though I've had 5 studies that I've actually read on the air, 5 studies, 5 different studies that actually prove that black boys will actually do better, have higher IQs, and get a better education under a white woman versus a black woman. In fact, I have a PhD that in child psychology that works for the schools to say exactly the same thing. He said it like a week ago. High scholar said the exact same thing.
So just wouldn't this be an incentive to kind of like just switch sides? Like
Switch
just based
sides,
on
like
just that,
say what?
start based on what you just said, wouldn't that just be a more of a incentive to leave these
Leave what?
problematic women? These
Okay,
problematic women?
okay, that's fine for you. How about the children that she has?
It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just it's a lost cause.
Okay, so you keep perpetuating the problem without trying to solve it.
Um, because I'm just trying to understand. Because at
What
one
do you
hand,
What are you trying to
these women
understand?
cannot.
Okay,
At
if
one
you
hand,
don't,
we cannot change these women. We can't
okay,
change these women.
uh-huh.
So if we can't change these women, how are we going to get
And,
access to the
and,
kids?
in other words, you have to find some way to actually soften the blow or soften the effect of the mother. How do you do that? Monahan said it. What did he
Have you
say? You
said it?
read it. What did he say?
I guess you have to make the black man more productive.
Really? Did you read the report? What did he
Yeah,
say?
that's
You have to do
exactly
what?
what he
Put them in
said.
what?
Hold on
What
a
did
second.
Monahan
That's
say? You have to put
exactly
them
what
in
he
what?
said.
Uh,
Male-centered organizations, right? Like the military.
Like BGS expected to drop his motherfucking shit, and this is what he expected.
I don't know. I would not let them tell me. Now, if you kill me,
That's what BGS expected. He wanted to drop his shit about the gynocracy, and that dude would have forgot everything about what he was talking about, and he just would have blamed the woman for everything. That's what the fuck these niggas expect. Gone. Fucking out of here. Done. Finito. Why the fuck is Walter Black still here? Why is he still here? Why? For what reason? You want to run experiments for what fucking reason? Why? You're supposed to be mad at the bitch. You're not supposed to be fucking explaining shit to me. You're not supposed to be explaining things to your daddy. You're not supposed to.
Okay. Also, it's also be suggested to give them what? Separate schools, all black male schools, and give
Monahan
them what?
said this.
Yes.
Dude, Monahan didn't say no shit like that. Dude, he's reading off of Tia Johnson's 17-point agenda. Bro, Monahan didn't say anything about all black schools, bro. Nigga, Monahan, a conservative, talking about all black schools? Are you fucking kidding me? The Monahan report talking about all black schools now. Nigga, you cannot be fucking serious, bro. Bro, you can't be serious about this shit. What are you talking about?
Oh man, I mean, okay, maybe I have to read it again because okay,
Tell me what you understand about the Monitoring Report, because you read it, right? 60 pages. What do you understand about it?
from what I've read, I think Monahan was
Like what?
I think he was really like trying to understand why black men were this fucked up. Like I think that's what he was trying to
It wasn't
understand.
about.
Like
It's about the whole community. It wasn't just about black men.
if you really read the BGS, like his undertone and how he wrote it, he literally used the word disturbed. Like he said there's a disturbed class, like,
There's a
and that's
there's a, there's a disturbed class. What do you mean by that?
yeah, like what is disturbed? Fucked up in the head.
No, now what do you mean by that? A disturbed class, a small minority of people. Go read Clark's book, Dark Ghetto. Actually talks about the tango pathology.
No, I was just talking about Monahan, just what he said. Like,
Well, okay, well, I have it pulled up. Where do you say that?
oh man, I think it was I'm not sure, but I think it
You sure
was
you sure you read it?
yes. He specifically said there's a disturbed class.
Okay. Roots. Okay, there's the table of contents. Where's it at?
Really, you expect me to remember though?
Yeah. Oh, there's a 29 tango pathology. Let's look at this, right?
He said it's a disturbed
Yeah, yeah,
class that's
yeah, yeah.
that's
Yeah, I expect you to
that's
remember because you
creeping.
expect me to remember. Yeah, I expect you to. You bringing it up?
It's not his
Matriarchy.
Yeah,
point. It's
right.
Okay.
your point. It's your point. It's not his point.
Fundamental fact of Negro American family is this often reverse roles of husband and wife. Okay. Negro husbands have unusually low power. While this is characteristic of all low-income families, the pattern pervades in Negro social structure. Okay, the cumulative result of discrimination in jobs, segregated housing, and poor schooling of Negro men. See that?
Yes.
44% of Negro families studied the wife was dominant against 20% of white wives, whereas the majority of white families are equalitarian. The largest percentage of Negro families are actually dominated by the wife. Okay, it's matriarchy, is it not, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So in other words, you asked me where's the gynocracy, right?
Yes.
In other words, but you read it though, right? But you disagree about the gynocracy, right? Okay.
Yeah, because under a gynocracy, aren't the women like respected or no? Like, don't they aren't they like respected as in a gynocracy?
Do the women, do black women hold a high a place of high regard amongst themselves in this culture, in black culture?
They yeah, they hold themselves. I think they hold themselves in the highest. I think,
So so uh,
but I
so
don't
are
think
so
I
are
don't think the men do.
so are women respected in this culture?
No,
Oh, really? How so? How they not?
no.
So we don't call them queens and goddesses and shit like that?
BGS, we have a whole music industry
No, no.
dedicated to calling black women bitches and whores. Like,
Okay,
where is this respect?
but on the ground, do we not call do we not protect them and call them queens and stuff like that?
BGS, I don't know, man, because my uncle-in-law, like he used to live in California. He said it was bad down there, man. Like the
Well,
drug,
I I
like
live in
people.
I live in California. I live in
Oh,
Los
B,
Angeles.
that's even perfect. You seen the drug epidemic yourself, right?
I seen the crack epidemic up
And
front
you
and
seen
personal.
what it did. You see what it did to the black woman as a whole, right?
I saw parts of it, right? But they were already on that shit before that.
Yeah,
So, well, you know what the worst epidemic is? You're in Toronto, right? Okay. You ever
yeah,
heard of fentanyl and opioids?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
How many white people is killing? Much worse than the
yeah.
crack epidemic, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
So what's it doing to white people? Is it breaking up their families?
Yeah, it's causing a lot of problems.
It's causing problems, but the thing is, it's not causing the same problems that happen with black people, is it?
I guess no, they
No,
their issues are little. Their issues, yeah, their issues are kind of different.
they are different because they have a different culture, don't they?
Yeah,
But the matriarchy existed before the crack epidemic, didn't it?
yeah. I was saying that there's not that respect for the female. That's what I was saying. Like, because under a matriarchy, I thought like the female was like the male is kind of respected, and I don't see this respect.
Who gets most of the trash in the black community? Is it male or females?
Who gets most of the trash? Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean trash?
disrespected more, male or females in the black community.
I'll probably say 50-50.
All right, man.
But BGS, we have a whole music catalog of disrespecting females though. Like BGS, like what else do you want me to prove?
So in
Easy
other
He
words,
said
so
Easy He
so
said trust.
so in other words, if I listen to Ghanaian music, I actually determine how they actually operate in Ghana.
Yes, you should.
I can, I
You
can,
should.
I can.
Yeah. If we're calling our women bitches and hoes, yeah, definitely,
No, no,
man.
no, no,
Like,
no, 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 no. If I just listen to your music, I can actually understand how your family functions.
yes, you should.
I should. I can. Okay.
Yeah, because black people, we speak the truth through music.
So in other words, I can tell you, sir, I've been black all my life. I got about 12 generations of ADOS in me. Okay.
Yes, yes.
It don't operate that way.
In what way? The what
So in,
like
black women well, what do they say about themselves? The most educated, right? If what did he say? If there's one, when Monahan said, if there's one person that actually go to school or go to college, it's always what? The girl. Why they pick the girl if she's not respected?
I guess I'm not sure. It could be a lot of reasons.
You don't know. Monahan said this 60 years ago. Uh, guess who gets still had
The
most of the
valedictorian?
valedictorian? Yeah,
Yeah, that
valedictorian.
was black woman. Black
And
woman.
still today, right? What's changed?
Very, very little.
Very little, right? Still
Yeah,
a
but
matriarchy, sir. What's changed?
what
Hmm?
has changed?
What's changed?
I, I guess black male agency
Hmm?
or black male agency. We can leave now. Like we don't have to deal with this nonsense.
We have choice. In other words, we're not the miscegenation laws that pinned us in no longer exist, right? But guess what? What does that do for the community still?
Yeah. What does the
And
choice does to the community?
as far as the community is concerned, what has changed? Okay, even though we have choice.
I guess it's still perpetuating.
In other words, nothing has changed.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing has changed. And that's what I'm saying. Like we can leave the situation.
It
Like
has
you don't
nothing to
have to deal with it.
it has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
But that's part of the tangled
No,
pathology, though. Like
no,
you
it's not.
keep dealing with the same messed up
No, it's not.
conditions. Like you
Yeah,
can leave.
the tangle pathology has to do with the social conditions, right? The spread from the lower classes to the higher classes, which Monahan said, which
Yeah.
Clark pointed out, which is actually happening on the ground in Africa as we speak.
Yeah, I see, like I said, BJ's, I see it firsthand, like males dealing with females they shouldn't be dealing with. Like, I'm like, yo, listen, this girl is a whore. Like, why are you dealing with her? And he's like, bro, he needs pussy. And I'm like, okay, come on. Like, are you really serious? Like
So
these primitive, this,
if most of the chicks are sexually free, okay, like 80-90% of chicks are sexually free, how do you find virgins? How many virgins actually exist in the black community?
What?
it's pretty low.
What?
Like less than
It's pretty
10%.
low.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty low. But
So well,
it
how
doesn't,
do you,
it
how
doesn't help. It doesn't help.
how do you define a whore?
Yeah, how do I? How do I
Because you just
define a whore?
because you just called them 304s. How do you define a whore?
Oh man, BGS, like that's what am I supposed to say about that? Like,
Stop acting like a woman. Stand on your square. How do you define a whore?
just a woman who's just liberal with her sexuality. Like, I'm gonna go and have sex when I want. Like,
That
that's a whore.
you sound like a woman, right? How many bodies does she need to be a whore?
I even five, but it really depends. Is it long-term relationships? Is it like what is it like? Is it just 10
How many?
bodies and
Okay. Say she has 10 dicks in a year, but they're all short term, like one night stands. Does that count?
nah, that's a whore BGS, man. Like he shouldn't be dealing with that.
No,
That's a
no,
whore,
no.
man.
In other words, it doesn't matter if they're long term relationships. What if she has one guy a year, and
One guy a year,
and
that
she's
that's
20, and she's 27.
nah, that's too much, man.
So how many dicks makes her a whore?
I guess anything more than 5.
More 5. So how many women in America, black women in America, have less than 5
Very
of
low.
age to marry? So very low. What do you mean low? Give me a percentage. Give me a gut feel. Is it 50%?
That have a
Have
low body count, right?
have body count less than 5.
Probably like I say less than 5%.
Less than 5%. So 95% are defined, as you use your definition, whores, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, are whores, right?
yes,
But you accuse me of calling them 3 or 4s. But according to your definition, they all are, right? Most of them.
yes,
But you're pro-black, right?
yeah. But I'm having a conversation with you.
It doesn't matter. But you're pro-black, right?
Yes, I'm pro-black
So I
because I
wouldn't
know.
define it like that, but you did. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
But you accuse me of
yeah,
calling them 3 or 4s, right? Hoes, right?
yeah,
Okay, but you just did. The vast majority of them.
yeah. Based on my definition, yes, yes,
Yes,
they're
yeah,
whores.
they're whores, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Strange how that happens. So you're not
yeah.
pro-black anymore, right?
Am I pro-black? Yes, I'm
Yeah,
a guardian. Yes, I
you
believe
got me.
that.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
just
I
called
believe all.
95% of black women whores.
Yeah, based on what my definition, I'll say a whore. Like just like I'll say the majority of white women are whores, based on what I said. Based on my definition of what a whore is, I'll say they're whores.
Okay, but I got accused of saying that, right?
Yeah,
I'm not pro-black because I said most black women are 3 or 4s, right?
yeah, Klingons 3 or 4. Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah. I said that. Yeah, okay. Based on by your statement and your definition, are you still pro-black?
Yes,
Okay, so we cleared that up, huh?
yes.
Yes.
But I'm not going in public saying these things. Like I'm not doing this in public.
Ah, we had 137 people watching. That's public to me, sir.
My bad. I thought it was just me and you, man. Okay, my bad.
Dude,
Oh,
you got the link. You got the link on a public on a public chat. You saw people in there
because
already.
I'm not seeing the chat. That's why. My bad. I'm not seeing
When
the chat.
you had to see the chat when you first came up, when you got the link, right? You got the link, this link through the chat.
Oh, because I don't know how my phone is, but I'm not seeing the chat on my phone.
How do you get the link how do you get the link to the StreamYard when I put it
No,
in the
I'm not
public
seeing the
chat?
chat right now. I'm not seeing the chat right now. My
I'm
bad.
not saying right now, one thing is before. The people are
Oh,
already here before you.
I did not see that, man. My bad.
But the thing is, you believe this shit, okay? Something I didn't say, but you believe it. I wouldn't say that.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Dealing
I
with
said, based on my,
dealing with these people, this basically the body count goes up. Okay, people ask me about body count. I dealt with high body count chicks all my life. It doesn't bother me. I wouldn't say that.
But BGS, you don't have to deal with these. I'm just
I just
confused because
I
you don't have to.
I didn't say what
You
I
don't
have
have
to
to
do.
deal with these
I don't
females.
have to. I don't. I'm a monk now. I don't have to deal with shit. The thing is, guess what? I didn't say what you accused me of saying. Did I call them bitches? Yes.
You're monk mode doing a story about women trying to get other men to deal with these women, but you're not dealing with these women on your own. Okay, monk. Okay, monk mode.
For a reason, for effect,
Right.
because I want them to hear me. Okay, I want them to pay attention. That's why.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
In other words, I've read more than you. I've been around longer than you. I've been in these circles. I talked to these people for years. Okay, you have not.
BGS, I understand what you're saying. All I'm saying is that you don't have to deal with these problematic women, though. You don't have to.
I didn't. It
You don't
has
have
nothing.
to be here.
Dude. I've been talking to SYSBM man for like the last 7 years. Okay, I know my choices. Okay, I could have married out to white and Latino and Asian when I was a kid. I didn't want to do that because I like black women. I know my choice. You have to tell me what I don't have to do. I'm old enough to actually know better. My son dates Latinas. My brother's married to a Filipino. Okay,
Mhm.
I know my
Yeah.
choices.
Okay.
Yeah, don't talk to me like
So,
I'm 20 years old.
but I don't know because I don't know, BGS,
You,
because
you you live in Toronto, which what's the percentage of black people in Toronto? Three
like
percent, 3%
maybe not 10%.
in
I
Toronto.
think 8 point.
Black,
Yeah,
black.
9. Yeah, 9%, 10% around there.
Are you sure?
Yes, I think it's 8. I think it's 9.5 or yeah, it's around there.
You live in a vast majority white country, right? In a
Yes,
mixed environment for the most part, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's not America. Okay. Canada
Yeah,
much
but
more liberal. Canada is much more liberal than America is. It's not the same thing.
no, not the same thing. But the black community experienced a lot of the same problems.
Like what?
Like just, I guess, the messed up culture. Like if you come to Canada, you will literally think you're in America. Like the females are just like the females in America. The males are just like the males in America.
Have you,
It's
when's the last time you lived in America?
when's the last time I've been there or just lived
Lived
there?
there? No, lived there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like it's been at least 20, 22 years.
No, you never lived in America as an adult, especially in the black community.
No, I come there and visit my siblings, but I don't live there.
And it's
And I
nothing like
see this I
it's not.
see the same parallels. It's very similar, especially in Brooklyn. Like Toronto's like little Brooklyn because there's a lot of Jamaicans, Haitians, African Americans, and it's really bad, man.
Are the white people treat you the same way in Toronto that they treat you in Brooklyn?
Yes,
They do.
yes. Like you see all this, like just it's really nah. They treat us the same, man. It's like they don't want to be around us, but they have to kind of tolerate us.
Why don't you do yourself a favor? Why don't you try to live in America for like a year and see if it's the same? Get a job,
They just
interact, and see if it's the same. Especially like down south.
no, no. Okay, I get what you're saying because I stay in Brooklyn like 6 months at a time with my what's it called, my family,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the parallels. Like I even say Brooklyn is even worse than most of African most of the I guess the wider African American community. Like it's very gutter down there, man. Like females are just because that Caribbean vibe is just heavy down there.
Have you?
Loud, obnoxious.
Oh, loud and obnoxious.
The males
Klingon,
and the females. The
Klingons,
males
huh?
and the females, man.
Klingons, huh?
Yeah, the males and the females are just bad, man.
Oh, Klingons, huh?
And Africans down there too are messed up too, man.
So in other words, you didn't believe when you had something to say when I said Klingon culture, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but I was saying the Klingon is like it's a mating strategy practiced by both groups.
Both
Like
groups.
I've seen men like literally compromise themselves just for pussy. That's how Klingon culture starts. Like men will literally compromise themselves.
That's not Klingon. What is Klingon? Klingon is based on violence, right? Especially from the female. That's what I meant by Klingon culture. Anyway, I think I proved my point. Still there?
Yep.
I guess not. Anyway, y'all, let me bounce off of you. I think I proved my point. To Atlanta, I heard that, man. Anyhow, y'all, thanks for stopping by, man. I just had to settle that, and get it away from Art. But I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, and Klingon language. He's telling me everything that I said. He's telling me everything that I said. So everything that I said has been basically repeated. Okay. In other words, I pointed out all the stuff that he said didn't exist. I went back to the documents. But the thing is, I was trying to find the tangle pathology in Clark, and I'm the one I have marked up. I don't have. I actually went through a video talk about the tangle pathology. In fact, let me pull it up, see if I can find it. I did a video on this shit. Let me see if I can find my video on tangle pathology. Search YouTube. It's probably easier to find it there. Let's see. Let's see if it's in this one.
And this is my favorite part of the show, where we get people who actually think that BGS actually explained themselves very great to come on and actually, why don't you explain to us what BGS said that was correct during this whole thing? I think he lost horrifically during this entire thing. Yep, that's what it is. The whole point is to leave you as broken as you were before you came in. That's what this stuff is about. It's not about actually making sure that you actually got anything out of it. It's to make sure that you haven't got anything out of it. This isn't that hard. Problem was he didn't know what he was talking about. He was trying to explain Ghanaian culture to a guy who was actually from Ghana. Anti-gravity, I agree with you. But if you look like 6, 7 years ago when I first got a channel, everybody was just diving into this shit hook, line, and sinker, bro. Oh well, you ain't got to. I mean, if you think that BGS won and you ain't got to explain your point, then you could just stay in the channel then. Hey man, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, MOT?
Oh, it's going all right. Hold on a second. Let me pull this down just in case there's some feedback. Yeah, I think we're done with that. Wait, hold on a second. James, hold on a second. Is that you, James Doe? Hey,
Yep.
how's it going? Hey, how's it going?
So,
So, since you watched the same live stream that we watched, could you tell me the best points that BGS actually made? I mean, do I have to sum up the points for you? Were you watching the entire time, or how does that work?
summing up his points, I think that's rather quickly done.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Maybe one or two. I'd love to give anybody else forehand, but I don't know. He seemed to be very questioning. Everything was a question, and then it led to kind of him asking the where he already knows the answer to the question he's asking the guest. So if he's asking him, and he leads him into this, oh, here's the question, right? You agree with that. So the answer to my next question can only be yes. So, and this is kind of not a way to lead a conversation, or when somebody says, well, here, oh, you can't remember this. Oh, well, then, or you need to prove stuff to me. Just little ways and way he kind of avoided everything that literally he was. What did he teach him in the end effect? What was the lesson of this
I don't think he.
whole conversation, if there
I
was
mean,
any?
I don't think he taught him anything. But I guess it's sarcasm on your part when you thought BGS 10, the other guy 0. So.
No, yeah, that was a joke. I mean, because
Okay.
I assume BGS will always win on his own live stream and never
Correct.
because him
Correct.
losing to any discussion would be counterproductive to what his channel is, and it doesn't make me want to go subscribe to premium just to figure out what he's talking about. So it's
Oh, well, what's with this premium stuff? You have to subscribe to premium to see what?
I don't know. I was just assuming from the stream that you were that it was
Just a
run
regular
a
live
live
stream.
stream on. Okay.
Well, I mean, I
No.
paid for premium for myself. I didn't know that these were premium live stream content type of things. I assume it was pretty much searchable like anybody else. Maybe I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, you have to
I didn't
understand that
watch.
you can't tell somebody who's from Ghana how their culture is. And if they tell you what specific tribe that they're from, you can't read off things from another culture and try to superimpose that onto his culture that he told you that he was from.
Yeah. But you have this a lot, and especially a lot of Americans will say, well, I've been there. Yeah, you've been there on a military mission, you've been there on a US base, you've been let off base if lucky, but like you haven't lived there, you haven't been like a civilian in a country at best. Most people have been to a lot of countries, but then through either the military or through the services or whatever, without actually living there, moving there, renting a house there, dealing with your insurance, dealing with, I don't know, the strangeness or a complete new culture, because you don't go there and try to be like, okay, what are we missing here? Starbucks and McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, where's my Wendy's? You don't come there and try to bring all of that, and you kind of try to, learn about the culture there. And cultures are ever changing again. Like when you're saying,
But our culture can't change because these are the men who want to keep men stagnated and into useless and circular arguments. Like, there's no way that this
listening
guy
to
is for the betterment
themselves.
of any man. Yeah. I mean, there's
Keep
no
on
way he can
listening
be
to me.
for
Keep on listening to me. Listen to me. You're not listening to me. You're not
yeah,
listening to me.
yeah.
Did you not listen to what I said? And it's
That's
this
what just
constant.
just happened.
And at the end, it's just like I've been talking for, and I can do that too. I can just continue talking and blabbing and nonsense and keep on going deeper down the rabbit hole, and then let's go on to a completely different topic now. What do you think about Nigerian women? Because here on Google it says Nigerian women are, and it's like, God, it's a complete different country. You have to go fly, walk. There's a whole desert in between. There's complete different customs. It's like being in, I don't know, New Mexico and Mexico.
Yeah,
And then
but none of
the
this
next state
makes sense.
over is Guatemala, and the next state over is Bolivia, and the next state over is Germany, or the next state over. It's a little bit different in 50 different states. Not
But he
like the
got.
U.S.
Hey, I got to say, man, like I got a big joker for you, man. I got a big joker for you right here. He brought 5 PhDs to the space.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
What you got to say about that? He brought 5 PhDs to the space. What you got to say about that?
Yeah, but where were they in the background? Were they just sitting there counseling him? Yo, check it on Google. Check it on Google. I mean,
Let's Google bullshit
who
PhDs.
has a lineup for that? I'm like, I got my lawyer here. I've got, just in case I say something that might get me canceled or something.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to turn your head toward Keisha, and then you were supposed to just get mad as shit
Yeah.
and just be on some shit like this.
Plus,
I don't know. I would not let them tell me. Now, if you kill me.
That's right, man. You gotta be mad at Keisha, dog. Shit, man. Don't get your shit together, dude. Just be mad at Keisha. Shit, that's what it is. Where is she? She acting a fool. Where is she? All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I just
All
gotta
right.
tell you that, this is like so refreshing, you doing this, because I just am not familiar, with this. This is a pattern, apparently. And I engaged one time, and it was traumatizing. It really was. And I say that just because I have never seen anybody use so many tactics so quickly, and like you go into a underworld, it's like a deep rabbit hole, and he's just like pulling and dragging you down like Poseidon, and you can't even breathe. You're just like, whoa, wait a minute, nothing's logical, nothing makes sense, and it's question after question. And somebody said like Jeopardy. I mean, it really is. And it's not related, but one of my points I wanted to say was the PhD thing. I thought that was very strange. I know a lot of people with PhDs, and some of them are bright and some of them are not. But if what you know about graduate school is that you have a very specific thing that you're studying, very specific. Your dissertation is very specific. So you're only an expert in probably, just what you study. That's it. And that doesn't mean that you're particularly smart or you're knowledgeable or you're a scholar in all things. That doesn't mean you know anything. It just doesn't. It means you wrote a long ass paper for like 3 years. That's what it means. Um, and lastly, this crew of people, they think because they have PhDs that they are somehow experts in anthropology, in technology, in relationships, in economics, in history. It's really, really strange. And oh, I shouldn't forget philosophy. It's a strange phenomenon. That's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, what he does is he runs the whole panel through a straw man argument. All of a sudden, you don't know what side of the argument that you're on. This is the straw man argument, where his option is the only option. Now, I present the same thing, but at least I do evidence with my actual shit. What's going on, Night in the Bishop Channel? What's going on? But that's where we're at. It's like you have to understand at some point you got to be able to provide some evidence of what the fuck you're talking about. Otherwise, people are going to be lost with what you are actually talking about. And
Absolutely.
okay, let's just say that that's your son. That's your son who's completely lost on some fucking issue. He came up to that panel. Walter Black is actual BGS CLC. Um, BGS did more say he's a self-trained chemist, like Walter White is an actual chemist on Breaking Bad, but he's breaking black men in the black manosphere. So that's what he's on. All right, go ahead.
Who are you speaking to?
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And for me, I'm struggling because in the space I'm interested in this phenomenon that they have only because it's so strange and it's so dysfunctional. That's my interest. I'll just be honest. I'm fascinated by it. I have never seen anything so weird and complicated, and they make stuff extremely complicated.
For
Just
no
like
reason.
the
For no
taxes.
reason.
Yeah, no reason.
For no reason.
The taxes. You got to be a victim. Then you got to blame the man. Then you got to blame the
Yep.
white woman, and then
Yep.
it just goes in this cycle. And then they got to bring the Homestead Act, which happened like what, the 1800s. How does the 1800s have anything to do with the taxes that you're paying, that you refuse to do anything different about how you pay taxes? These are personal choices,
I
and
mean, there's a one straw man argument after another. Like, once the man out of the house rule fucking went away in '68, you literally could have teamed up with the woman that you actually got pregnant and still had a two income producing household, regardless of where your ass was in there or not, right? But they chose to like, look, if she's not gonna survive off of my 5.15, well, whatever the actual minimum wage was back then, per hour, then I'm not gonna have a family. Yeah, she's just gonna go out and get her own money without you.
right. And there's a
What
movie
the
named
fuck she's supposed to
Claudine.
do?
Did you hear about a movie named Claudine? Anybody heard of that movie called Claudine? I think it's called Claudine, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
about
a real old movie. It's a real old movie. Yeah,
yeah, it's a black lady, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if I got the right name
it
of
is.
the movie. And doesn't she have a husband and they have children and they are in the projects on welfare, and she has to hide the TV and hide the husband? That's what she did in the movie. Is that the same movie?
Yes.
Yeah. So even the fact that it made it into film, it probably was a phenomenon. That was the way that black people still found a way to be together and get money out of the system because they had to. So, this
I mean, but
argument is
getting any
crazy.
resource that you can out of the system didn't negate the fact that you still could have got up and got your ass off that couch and got a goddamn job, nigga. I don't give a fuck about what anybody says. All other people still participate in the actual process itself of resource attainment by any means. Like I said, I live in a sanctuary city in Denver, and guess what? A woman can just show up claiming that she don't speak no motherfucking English. They get a house right away. They skip to the front of the line. Guess what happens when she move in? Dude's working, she's working, kids in school, English as a second language. They got private tutors and teachers and all this shit. They're both using the goddamn system, and they're both gonna fucking succeed. Kid knows exactly what the fuck is going on in society, told within their language and in English. They turn out better than most, especially better than most people black who are already here. And people are like, well, why don't we just not have these people over here so we can be the top of the bottom so that way no one can challenge our shit? Man, fuck you. End of the day, you should have been way past these people. Way past them. Long time ago.
Absolutely. And MLT, the one thing I want to ask you, where do you think they're living? Because they seem to be surrounded, and when I say that, I mean collectively. Are they living in the middle of ghettos and bad areas and stuff like that? Like, what are they exposed to that their whole mentality is in this like low level? I know so many functional, amazing black people. I'm just trying to figure out where these folks live at or what they're living in. What do you think?
No, they don't have this type of experience, but they need a specific type of man or woman to actually come to them to need their help. And believe it or not, these are actually the majority of people in society right now. They know that these are majority of people in society. This is a specific marketing campaign toward the least common denominator for the most broken people in society. They literally are trolling for that. They're not trying to lead these people to anywhere else. If that's the case, then why have circular conversations on shit you should be past? The guy said the answer 3 different times. If you know these people are actually problematic, well, deal with them. He said 2 times. Where are the good women at in the fucking gynocracy? He couldn't answer that either. He just said, if you watch the McDonald movie, when the guy first gave him the goddamn hamburger in a fucking paper sack, like, well, where can I eat it? In the park? Anywhere you want. And that's kind of what it was with this guy. It was like the guy was just running circles around it because he was raised in a different society to where men ran the fucking family choices. But he is in a society where women run most of the family choices, and you know by sheer numbers game that he's going to run into more broken men who believes in actual popularity than they do progress. That's the problem. But 6 years ago, most people came to this space and they was looking for a father figure like BGS anymore. They were. But I knew that this shit wasn't going to be able to last forever. The actual rise of certain type of YouTubers was going to make this actual environment pretty chaotic at some point. They were not going to be able to uphold this shit forever.
Yeah, I think I think you're definitely on something when you say the father figure thing. My guess is that a lot of the men who follow him, they yearn for a father in their life for whatever reason, and they find it, in him. And I think that he definitely, uses that to to his advantage because it automatically makes him the authority, it makes him the elder, it makes him instantly right, instantly correct, and I it baffles my mind. I've never seen a phenomenon like it. It's really, really interesting.
I
And
mean, it's kind of one of a kind though. Like this shit isn't really that hard to get. You have one person who's trying to hold on to the stagnation of actual men for his actual self benefit. He needs that shit in order to live. You can't say that any other society right now are creating better men to actually compete with society by escorting them into women that they shouldn't be dealing with in the first place, or information about women that they shouldn't be dealing with in the first place. Or whenever he's trapped here, he just keep going back and back and back. You get trapped here in 68. Next thing you know, we're in the 1890s, and then next thing you know, we're in the 1700s, and before that, we're before BCE. All this shit. He never can fucking lose on this fucking mountain. You always have to Spider-Man to another fucking mountain to go lose over there. So you can't really nail this person down on anything because he don't go out and debate anything.
yeah, I see it, and I'm glad that you broke this down tonight because it really showed that that's like a lot of the stuff that was said in that conversation was said to me in a conversation. Same tactics. No, 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 no.
I'm gonna actually cover
Yeah,
that. I mean, just not now with the revelations over the past day. Holy shit! But
revelation.
hmm
Okay. Are we
and
talking about Gigi? Got you. Got you. Got you.
yeah.
Got you.
But at the end of the day, it's just that we have to break down why these people are here and why they're all around this guy. Because at the end of the day, they seem to be coordinating live streams behind the scenes and trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
gaslight and promote all this bullshit to black men all at the same fucking time. That's why I started off with the Manosphere 1 4.0 video to show you that there's a history of these people doing this, and there was always going to be a point in time where these people wanted to be the only voice in the Manosphere. That's why I started my live stream off with shit I said 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's deep. The fact that you were saying that 3 years ago, yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
And they didn't even know that I was building an entire catalog criticizing them 3 years ago. That
Wow.
I could just replay to them right now and it's still fucking true for the most part. Because I seen this, because I seen exactly what the fuck they were doing. What they're trying
That's,
to do is create a more reason resistant fucking maggle that's going to walk head first into these fucking women that they don't need to fucking be with for their own survival.
he's gonna destroy a lot of men. I mean, just even if you look at the chat, some of the ignorance and just the anger, oh, it's
Oh God, you
horrible.
should have looked at what the fuck was going on in that chat. I did not show that for a very specific reason. There are people over there who knows damn well better what the fuck he's actually doing, but a lot of these productive men, they want to be the only one up there. They don't care about destroying the fucking youth.
Yeah, they're gonna be destroyed because that hopelessness and what's dangerous is you say, okay, I have scholars who back me up, so that makes me an authority with them, and then we have the data and we have our charts and we have our graphs so we can prove it, and then we're going to give you the historical narrative, and then we're going to cycle you in with all this different philosophy, and before you know it, you're just in this cycle of hopelessness. It's like a deep, deep underworld, and it's almost like what is it? Those people who started saying all that crazy stuff politically, and they were saying that people were getting brainwashed by it. It was the pizza and dominoes and all kind of
Yep.
crazy stuff.
Hey, yeah,
Those
those Pizzagate people.
Yeah,
And,
all of that
and
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. It makes you
it's
crazy.
it's the same mentality because what it is that people don't even realize that they're being radicalized. Like they don't even understand the
Yes.
process of being radicalized. They don't
Yes.
understand that there is actually QAnon. That's what it is.
QAnon,
Um,
yes, that's it.
so a lot of people don't understand the process of re-victimization and re-traumatization. But to being victimized and being re-traumatized is the actual end goal of these people, whether they have the experience or not. That's the other point of it. Like they see that as part of the masculinity process. Like they see recovering from these things that you can actually avoid as part of the process.
Hmm.
And they're actually trying to put these men 15, 16 years behind by getting them hooked up with an actual person that they know that they shouldn't be with. Like they live through this. It's very different that they don't know the outcome. They actually do know the outcome. And they're freely trying to put these people 15 or 16 years behind them so that way they can die in peace. So this way these people can be here alone by themselves with no leadership of any kind. That's what they're trying to do on purpose.
Oh yeah, it's definitely very intentional. It's very intentional. The I would liken it to the way alligators attack. Alligators attack. They get a grip on you, and they start turning in
Yeah, yeah,
circles
yeah.
real
Death row.
fast.
Yeah. Death row. Death
Yeah,
row.
the death roll, and they take you on under and finish you off, and you're done. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So
So.
what they do is they drown you and they just leave your ass at the bottom of the muddy creek, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of people down there, and you think
Mm.
you're just the only one. No, 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 no. They've been stockpiling bodies at the bottom of this creek for a long ass time.
Oh, shoot. He
You
said
ain't the only
stock
one that's down there.
at the bottom.
You're not the only one. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, MOT, I just want to say I respect you. I appreciate what you're doing, bringing logic and real life experience. And the fact, one thing I love about you is that you know how things work, and that is so
Yes.
powerful. You do.
And,
But
and, and the thing is, you think you could bring a TSON or a Dr. Thunder or fucking Ron Neal up here to talk to me about any of this shit? You
nah.
better dodge this fucking conversation. If you
Mm-mm.
value what the fuck you love, you will dodge this fucking conversation and pretend I don't fucking exist.
You see,
Because at
they don't.
the end of
You see, they don't engage you. They don't.
nah, they can't.
No, they
They
don't.
can't.
They don't. Mm-mm.
I mean, but that's a sense of pride that I can have a channel that's 6, 7 years old. I don't even do content about women. But I
You
have to
don't.
chase after men who do content about women because they don't have good intention towards these fucking women. Now, I don't think these women should be saved at all. But it's not my responsibility to actually, well, actually, it is my responsibility to make sure that they're not being weaponized either
Right.
and being scapegoated by these men who is intentionally trying to scapegoat these actual women. All these people who cannot stay away from problematic personnel, like that's their own fucking problem. That's on them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. I like functional people. I don't want to deal with the dysfunctional people. I don't care male, female. I just don't
They
want any
can't
part of
survive
that.
in a society with all functional people because functional people can actually contribute to society. Most of these people are trying to actually eat off and bite off of everybody's plate in society, and they can't function unless they're cannibalizing something in order to move forward. That's the actual point here. They don't know how to move forward, and their subculture is dying.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
actually a cry out for help, but they don't know how to ask for help because parasites don't ask for help. Parasites just fucking attach themselves to their host because they don't respect their host. Parasites don't respect their host. They need to consume their hosts. They have to consume these young ass men. They have to make these associations behind the scenes to keep loading this shit up with all of these live streams about shit you can stay away from to gaslight and fucking poison these men's mind. That's what they have to do. They
Yeah,
have to do this. And they keep trying to blame the women and the gynocracy and the goddamn white people who don't even live around you for this shit. They're doing this shit. Ain't nobody else doing this shit. They're doing that.
exactly, exactly. Well, anyway, it's getting late, but thank you so much for your time. Appreciate the stream.
All right, cool. All right, thanks. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
At the end of the day, this shit cannot survive or last forever. Once I go to these parents groups and alert them about the dangers of these dangerous ass motherfucking men, This shit is gonna be coming to a motherfucking end very fucking soon. At the end of the day, you have to know how to fight these people. They want attention. You want attention. You want to take your ass on TV and explain this gynocracy shit to actual fucking feminists who can chop your fucking head off? Be my guest. But I'm gonna give you what you want or what you think you want. Because being mainstream means that you have to have some responsibility for what comes out of your fucking mouth. And let me tell you, all the tenure in the motherfucking world is not gonna be able to help you from actual fucking direct criticism. When you take your ass out there and make yourself look dumb as shit on fucking TV, that college ain't gonna be wanting to fuck with you like that. And they can get your ass the fuck up out of there if they want you to fuck up out of there. Trust me. At the end of the day, you need to make individual progress in your own life. You cannot expect these stagnation creators, that is Wacky World of O's term, these stagnation creators to actually provide progress. Stagnation creators provide stagnation, not progress. They are fully dependent on you walking in circumstances that you don't need to be in order for them to succeed at their issue. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming through. I'm the man tomorrow. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a really nice day. Yeah. It's time for these dudes to be marching to the Gulf of Mexico. But you guys have a really nice night. Peace.